Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Breakfast with Roger and Friends on this Friday, the 5th of September. Beautiful morning, beautiful people right here in the studio with yours truly, and that includes Terry Jamelin. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning.
And, of course, John Disharoon sitting in for Dr. Gene Sidler. Good morning to you, John.
Top of the morning, Roger. And, of course, Terry's the only one that resembles beauty in this room.
Yeah, well, you're right. I'm glad you pointed that out.
Not that I'm a homosexual. I was talking about the other Terry in the room.
I'm not too sure about that, but at any rate, I'll take your word for it.
I'm quite sure, Roger.
Well, I don't know. Yeah. At any rate, and we have the other Terry.
Word for it.
Terry Growy. Good morning.
Good morning, Captain.
Another beautiful Friday morning, another beautiful September morning.
Yeah.
Everybody's talking about how unusually good this weather is. And
Sweatshirts in September.
Yeah, I noticed that. Good. And I don't know why, but I got the impression you were a Cardinal fan. Why is that? Because you got on a big Cub sweatshirt.
Yeah.
Well, the sweatshirt was cheap. You're the
That would tip you off. That would be the tip-off, wouldn't it?
No, I think either you're colorblind or confusing me with somebody who usually sits in that corner where Terry is that wears red that I thought was a Cardinal fan, and you said is a Bradley fan. Dr. Gene Sidell,
Well, Dr. Gene Sidler.
Sidler.
Yeah, and got an email or a text message from him. They're getting ready to head back from
How long's he
being
been
out
gone?
in Colorado.
Wow, he got
Well, he
time
left
off,
in
didn't he?
December of last year, and
you gave him
went
a lot
out
of
west
time.
and hadn't been seen or heard from
I know.
since then.
Been gone so long, his name changed from Sidler to Sidell.
Yeah, how quickly we forget, right? No matter how good they are, if they're gone for a long time, gee, what's his? At least we didn't say what's his name.
Yeah, what's it? Yeah, the guy that sits over there.
Yeah. At any rate, it is absolutely beautiful weather and 58 degrees, and we'll get the scoop on the weather coming up. And of course, we'll be joined by Kyle Barnold, Mr. Weather.
8:30-ish.
Yes, around then, whenever he pops in.
Whenever he
We never know for sure
No.
what time, but
He's
when
gonna
he
go.
arrives, there's no
No question he's
no,
here.
no question he's here.
He's
Because
on,
he
he's
starts-
on insurance time.
Yeah, he's insured for it. We're going to get into it in the program, but I don't know about the rest of you, but I watched much of the hearings involving Robert Kennedy Jr., and I have never seen such disrespect for a human being in all my life. It was vicious, it was mean, it was personal, called him a liar, called him all kinds of names, and I was saying earlier this morning, if an employer treated an employee the way Robert Kennedy was treated, he would run to the National Labor Relations Board and live rich for the rest of his life. You can't talk to people that way. I was just,
Pretty jealous of the guy or something, right? I mean, what is it?
well, there's such hate today. The vitriol is so disgusting in our country that you can disagree, but you're supposed to be civil about it.
Everybody wants their little clip to share with their
that may be
constituents
it, yeah.
and say, we're not going to take this from this administration. But, yeah, it's embarrassing.
What was the name of the movie with Jack Lemmon and Dirty
Walter
Old
Matthau?
Men?
Dirty old man. Walter Matthau.
Yeah, wasn't dirty, was it?
Oh,
Grumpy.
Grumpy
Grumpy
old
Grumpy
man.
Old Men,
Yeah,
yeah.
couple.
That's right.
Yeah, and
Well, that was both Tony
that was
Randall.
a TV show.
Okay.
Yeah, Grumpy Old Men,
Grumpy Old
and that's what they had yesterday. Grumpy old men and an old bag thrown in for equal rights opportunities. Well, she is. She's an old bag. She doesn't know what the
Oh, my.
HELL is going on and shouting and carrying on. You remember the dumb thing she did when she was running, I guess, for president. She broke open a can of beer. Now, that looked about as, and drank it on YouTube, I think. You
No,
know?
it was on one of the TV shows, wasn't it? Wasn't it on?
No, she did a, what do they call it, a selfie.
Tried to relate to
Yes, to
normal,
working
ordinary
man.
people.
Yeah.
Oh,
And it was so embarrassing, but there she was, open, and she didn't look as comfortable, and she was in her own kitchen, as a matter of fact.
And Bud Light never recovered.
Yeah, well, Bud Light hasn't recovered since you know who was the marketing genius.
who was that? Dylan? What was that person's girl's name? Dylan? Who was it? It was some, I don't know.
I
that
know
was the
something
weirdest
like
move I've ever
Dunleavy
seen
or-
advertising.
Dylan's clothes.
Well, it wasn't Jim or Jimmy, I can
No.
guarantee you
That
that.
was the weirdest move in
It,
advertising.
yeah,
I've
it
ever
was,
seen.
wasn't it? And boy, did their sales plummet. Their stock
yeah.
shares went out. And give credit to the woman at Cracker Barrel. She reversed herself real quick after going with that stupid logo and leaving poor Uncle Herschel holding the barrel.
Note to the wise, never change your logo on a slow news day.
Yeah. Exactly.
Make sure a president's been assassinated,
Yeah.
or
Something happened.
there's an earthquake, or,
Everybody jumped on
a
that.
meeting with Putin. Something's got to be taken
So,
there.
yeah. Well, anyway, since we're talking about the news, let's get into the news and bring you up to date with some of the stories we are following each and every day. And the most comprehensive news in Peoria Radio right here at 90.7, brought to you this morning by Spoon River Home Health. Been around since 1993, locally owned and operated. Spoon River Home Health, available to help you or a loved one 24/7 at 309-245-0723. Let's start with the weather and Terry.
Mostly cloudy and a little windy today. High just 66. Tonight's low a nippy 48 for high school football. Football's we're playing right now outside, right? Tomorrow sunny and breezy 72. Sunday, sunny and 71. Monday sunny 79. Right now it's kind of a crisp 58. I call it crisp.
I like that term.
Yeah.
I think that would be. This is good football weather. I
Great
think.
football weather. Your nose kind of runs, your sleeve gets a little wet. It's
Hey,
great.
my nose runs all the time, so it doesn't matter what time of the year it is. So you're getting a little personal
You get a
there.
little older.
Cocaine.
Yeah, no, just a runny nose, I tell you what. At any rate, let's get into the news brought to you by your hometown community banks division of Martin Community Bank. 46 locations in central Illinois to serve you. Look for the clock tower, and you'll know they have time for you. Member FDIC. Terry.
The annual Marigold Festival in Pekin continues today through Sunday. Lots of activities today, including fun at the Carnival in Mineral Springs Park, a tailgate party near Circle Drive in Pekin High School, and more. We'll talk about the festival with Pekin Mayor Mary Burress following the 7:30 news this morning.
They found the thing, right?
Yep.
Yes, they did. I think it was a group effort, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I read.
Several
It was a
people,
team,
but
yeah.
I heard you got $1,500, but you also got lifetime Jimmy John's or something. That's what somebody told me. I don't
Well,
know.
it wasn't Jimmy John.
No, he was.
I think Subway put that out.
That's right.
Peoria police report the arrest of 34-year-old Jonathan Hudson after a neighbor told officers Hudson had fired a gun at him in the 1000 block of West Thrush early Wednesday evening. The alleged gunman has been charged with aggravated discharge of a firearm, assault with a firearm, unlawful use of a firearm, no FOID card, and criminal damage to property.
Illinois State University is reporting an increase in student enrollment this year. Officials said student population stands at 21,994. That's an increase of 448 more than last year. 19,513 are undergrads.
It was a raucous, is that how you say that word? Raucous?
Raucous. Yeah.
Raucous, raucous, terrible Senate hearing In Washington, D.C., as the Health and Human Service Secretary Robert Kennedy Jr. made an appearance in an almost unprecedented verbal attack against a 71-year-old Trump cabinet member. Democrats took turns lambasting the former Democrat for everything from his views about vaccines to the firing of Susan Monarez as head of the Center for Disease Control and Prevention after only 3 months on the job.
The rhetoric was vicious and sometimes repugnant. No subject was off limits for the attacks, including the mass shootings in Minneapolis. Democrat after Democrat hammered Kennedy, with many calling for his resignation or firing. Even some Republicans, like Louisiana Bill Cassidy and Tom Tillis of North Carolina, also challenged the controversial Kennedy. President Trump is standing firm in his support for the Health and Human Services Secretary, saying more needs to be done to ensure the safety of the drugs we're taking and the food we're eating.
President Trump responded to the false rumors that he had died over the Labor Day weekend. Trump played 2 rounds of golf and prepared for the dinner he hosted at the White House for a number of top-notch tech CEOs, including Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates. Elon Musk was not invited.
In world news, the death toll from that earthquake in Afghanistan has now exceeded 2,200 as more bodies have been recovered from the debris. 98% of the buildings and homes in Kunar province have been heavily damaged or destroyed. Aid agencies are calling for staff and supplies, including food.
The president of Northwestern University, Michael Schill, has announced he's resigning. His resignation comes as the Trump administration is investigating claims the school failed to protect Jewish students. In making the announcement, Schill said, "I believe now is the right time for new leadership." He's not going far. He'll return to teach and conduct research at the Northwestern Pritzker School of Law.
Is Pritzker's not? Is he an attorney?
No.
I didn't
Yes.
think so.
I believe he has a law degree.
JB?
I thought he did.
Wow.
Well,
thought
it's
he
pretty
did.
hard to name a law school after somebody who's not a lawyer, but anything is possible when you got money to donate, for that matter.
Yeah.
Another Democrat judge's ruling has been reversed by a federal appeals court. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the 11th Circuit said Florida and immigration officials could resume housing illegal migrants at Alligator Alcatraz. Federal Judge Kathleen Williams, an appointee of President Obama, ordered officials to dismantle its fences, lights, and generators within 60 days. She lost. Officials say they're posting signs, "Open for business." Well, no, not really.
Yeah, leave the light on.
Leave the light on
Yeah.
for you.
He got his JD in 1993 from Northwestern University.
That's
After
interesting.
graduating from Duke. I remembered him at Duke.
Oh,
But
he was a
just,
Duke guy?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. Funny story about governors with
See,
law
douche?
degrees.
Duke. You said-
Yeah.
Is it a soft C or K? I don't know.
Well, I'm in the mood for a funny story about how you get a law degree.
So Rod Blagojevich, when he was governor of Illinois, he was invited to give the keynote address at some important, it could have been Northwestern, one of the big schools up in Chicago. And his press person, who I happen to know, wrote this, great speech and said, "Rod, just read the speech." Well, he got up and he said, I don't like reading these things. And he set it aside and he said, "I am living proof that you too can become governor of Illinois when you get an ACT of 15.
Really?
And the crowd was stunned. And they're like, really? You're going to lead with that, Mr. Governor, here at our prestigious university?
Yeah, that was the beginning of his downfall.
He wasn't the sharpest guy.
Well, I mean, it just shows you how you can get ahead in politics in Illinois when you're connected. When your father-in-law is, Mel and the city council, and they put you in the state general assembly, and then they elevate you to run for governor after a freak Republican, or elevate you to run for Congress after a freak Republican beats Rostenkowski after a scandal in the wave of '94,
Yeah.
where anybody on the Republican side won, and then he feels his calling to run for governor, and they're like, well, at least we can control him.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I would say this about Blagojevich. He probably has the best hairstyle of any governor, and I envy.
Pompadour.
Don't
They
you
call that a pompadour,
feel
don't they?
bad because you've
Pompadour?
got about as much hair as I do? Don't you feel bad or envious? I think would be the word for it.
He's
You're
gone
not-
dark again.
You what?
He's gone dark again.
Oh, he did?
Yeah,
He was
he-
gray when he got out of prison, and then after he was pardoned, his hair started getting darker, and or commuted. I'm not sure if it was an actual pardon. And yeah, I saw him. He's now kind of supporting Trump and being very Republican-esque,
Well,
looking for an appointment.
He does owe Trump a little bit, doesn't he?
Just a bit, just
Yeah.
a tad. But he's back to his Elvis dark black hair again.
I've got a story to tell, but we have more news to share with you from our friends at WCBU. Let's talk to
From
them.
the WCBU Newsroom, I'm Courtney Conroy. East Peoria's new downtown open green space is ready for the public after 10 years in the making. Community leaders held a soft opening and ribbon cutting for Levy Park this week. East Peoria Community Foundation President Sue Porcheller says they hope the space adjacent to City Hall will become a popular attraction.
I think it's going to be a draw, just a natural draw for people to come down here, stop here, take pictures here, bring lunch over. Moms can let their toddlers play in the splash pad and they can sit right, on the edge.
The $3 million park was funded entirely through state grants and community donations. Tazewell County prosecutors are seeking to keep a 93-year-old Pekin man accused of killing his wife in custody until his trial begins. James Pate is charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder in the death of 80-year-old Cheryl Pate. He allegedly cut her throat Tuesday during the course of an argument. Peoria County Coroner Jamie Harwood says an autopsy shows Cheryl Pate suffered multiple sharp force injuries. Year-to-date crime statistics from the Peoria Police Department show less than half as many shooting murders compared to last year. 4 of the city's 8 homicides through the end of August were by gunshot. In the first 8 months of 2024, Peoria had 8 fatal shootings out of 10 murders. Compared to 2 years ago, total homicides are down nearly 60%. The statistics show total shooting incidents have dropped by 23% in the past year, and almost 900 fewer rounds have been fired. And the Prairieland Punishers roller derby say the close relationships they've built with their teammates are a big reason why they love the sport. By day, 57-year-old Goldie Rocks from Pekin works for the Postal Service. But when she puts on her skates and helmet, Goldie Rocks becomes a dominant blocker charged with stopping the other team from scoring.
And I have met so many different people from so many different backgrounds and so many different lifestyles that it really has changed my viewpoints and my thoughts on just people in general.
The Prairieland Punishers compete in a doubleheader Saturday night at the Interstate Center in Bloomington. I'm Courtney Conroy,
Let's get into sports. And with all the latest, here's John Disharoon.
Charming and delightful old JTD. Well, Roger, last night Jalen Hurts shrugged a TD celebration and did his best to be like Mike. Through spit and rain, a ceremony and a setback, Hurts and the Super Bowl champion Eagles weathered the storm and showed why they're again a favorite to hoist a second straight Lombardi trophy. Hurts rushed for 2 touchdowns for the Eagles, who lost hot-tempered star defender Jalen Carter after 6 seconds into the game. Early for spitting on Dak Prescott. There's a sign of maturity.
Yes, it sure is.
Then withstood a rare weather delay, call it lightning, and needed a late stop to beat the Dallas Cowboys 24-20 early Friday in a wild start to the NFL season. With one last chance at a comeback, Prescott threw an incomplete pass on a 4th and 3 with 1:54 left to send what was left of a thinned-out Eagles crowd into a frenzy. The game ended just over 5 hours ago.
Really, just 5 hours ago.
And with the new NFL season comes an assortment of rule changes and points of emphasis that are undoubtedly going to enter the debate with all football fans over the next 5 months. The league has tweaked its kickoff, hoping to generate a much higher return rate. Its competition committee has worked to make overtime fairer, employed technology to support its on-field officials, so the first yard or the 10-yard markers for a first down will now be secondary to the laser pointers. So the laser measurement's going to tell the refs whether or not they got a first down.
The thing we see on TV.
Yeah. So they've had that technology for years. It's finally going to be official.
You know what is more important is how they and where they spot the ball. The laser is fine, but that is where they put the electronic system into play after the ball is spotted.
Right.
And I've never understood, like, they're on the goal line, okay? And the linesman, where's he? He's off the field. He's not on the field. And I always wondered, why don't you get closer to the play? Because you got other officials on the field, but the linesman is always off the field. Granted, he's on the edge of the sideline, but why don't they get closer so they know actually where to spot the
He
ball?
should suit up and follow him.
Yeah, and it's interesting because sometimes you see them. I mean, it's just random, right? They place it down. Sometimes they look off the field to see where the guy is. But do you remember when 34 for the Bears, Sweetness,
Walter Payton.
Walter Payton? Every time Payton got tackled, he would
Reach out.
Yeah.
3 feet and put the ball, and they would usually compromise and put it somewhere between where he landed
Yeah.
and where the ball was.
He was very good at that.
He was great, and and over a season, that's 100 yards.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
in additional yardage for him. But it's so random when you see the placement, and now they can review that. And
Yes, they
check the
can.
placement on it, but
But you can't do it on every play.
No.
And the other thing that I get a big kick out of is only when they get near the goal line do they start measuring it on the basis of where the runner's knee hit the ground. But during the rest of the field, they don't worry about it as much, I'll say,
Keep the game
as
moving.
much.
What was
yeah.
the kickoff thing? Oh, excuse me. Go
No,
ahead.
I know.
So, just a couple more rules here, and then so in the players, the refs are going to be much more vigilant in disciplining the players for violations of the league sportsmanship rules, which is why Jalen got kicked out after 6 seconds last night for spitting on Dak.
Yeah.
He'll likely
Should
get
be
a fine
suspended.
and will be suspended for a
Yeah,
game.
it should
Really?
be.
Think.
And you know, the media kind of defended him. They said such things as allegedly, or one account I read said spit near the player. When they have video of it,
Yeah,
a
he hopped
picture,
to it right
you
on it.
see the spit coming out of his big mouth. You know, that's about as
Gross.
abusive and insulting as you can get. Spitting on a person is, to me, a serious crime.
And Prescott, who the spat was directed towards.
Well, I like the spat.
He said, he goes, look, I spit 100 times a game, and he thought, I think, that I was spitting at him. I wasn't. I spit forward, and it landed, 4 feet away from him. But he wasn't, he wanted to intimidate and come up in my face and spit. And he goes, I just, the ref saw it, and I went motioned, and they got him out of there. He goes, last thing I'm going to do, I came to play football. I'm not going to spit on somebody. That's gross. And then after months of debate, and this goes back a couple of years, the league has decided that the Eagles' tush-push short yardage play would remain legal for 1 more year.
Oh.
So you get up on the end zone line, you get 2 guys behind you,
Right,
and you push and move the line.
The Eagles
through.
started that? They're the ones that kind of
They
started
did.
that?
They started that.
You know, I had quite an experience. That happened to me.
a tush push?
Two
You wanna
years
share that?
ago in Walmart, I was standing in line, and they pushed me right up to the cashier, and it wasn't even my turn.
Wow. Well, that's legal for 1 more year.
Okay.
In New York, in New York, another thrilling action last night in the sports field. Amanda Anisimova,
You want to run that by us again?
Anisimova
Okay.
battled from a set down to beat Naomi
Was the name
Osaka
better, was it?
in a thrilling U.S. Open semifinal last night to reach her 2nd Grand Slam final in a row. The 8th-seeded Anisimova won 6-7, 7-6, 6-3, and will face number 1 seeded Aryna Sabalenka in Saturday's final. Sabalenka defeated number 4 Jessica Pegula 4-6, 6-3, 6-4 in the semifinals earlier Thursday night in a rematch of last year's final. Just terrific women's tennis last night. She moved 1 victory away from becoming the first woman to claim consecutive championships at Flushing Meadows since Serena Williams got 3 in a row from 2012 to 2014. So it's been 10 years, 11 years since Serena did that. Anisimova's elimination of Osaka came in a match that ended at nearly 1 a.m., so 5 hours ago. John was up watching tennis and football for Rogers' radio show this morning, folks, and we won't do that
Is it
again.
2 words or 1 word? Is it Anna Samova, or is that her last name?
Her
Is that-
last name is Anisimova.
Oh, what's
her
her
first
first?
name is Amanda. But I don't know her well enough to
Amanda
call her
Amanda.
Amanda.
Amanda Amanda. Okay.
So we'll just call her Anisimova.
Okay.
In Minneapolis, Kyle Teal hit a 3-run home run. Colson Montgomery homered and drove in 3, and the Chicago White Sox, Dr. Sidler, beat the Minnesota Twins 11-8 on Thursday night. Chase Medroth had 4 hits as the White Sox came back from 3 runs down for the 2nd consecutive night against Minnesota to win their season-high 5th straight game. Teal and Edgar Cuero each had 3 hits. Wickelman Gonzalez, 1-0, struck out 2 and allowed no hits in 1 1/3 innings to earn his first career win in relief. Frazier Ellard was the opener for Chicago, throwing 1 1/3 innings with 2 hits and 2 strikeouts.
What's his name? Wickel? Is that
Wickel.
His first name is Wickel?
Wickelman. Wickelman Gonzalez, man. Yeah, his name is Wickelman. My daddy, you know what I mean? Wickelman Gonzalez. In Pittsburgh, Paul Skeens pitched 6 scoreless innings and earned his 10th win of the season as the Pirates beat the National League West leading Los Angeles Dodgers 5-3 Thursday night to complete a 3-game series sweep. So here's the worst team in baseball, arguably.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh Pirates, just obliterating the Los Angeles Dodgers. Skeens allowed 2 hits, struck out 8 and walked 1. The right-hander finally got his record above 500 for the first time this season and lowered his ERA to a Major League best of 198. Skeens, last season's National League Rookie of the Year, who was 4-8 this season for the last place Pirates, has won 6 of his last 7 decisions. So they got this great player on a team that just isn't ever going to go anywhere. The Dodgers were held to 5 hits and had their division lead cut to 2 games over idle San Diego. Slow night in Major League Baseball last night. In other games, the Phillies beat the Brewers 2-0. The Rays 4-2 over the Guardians. The Royals beat the Angels 4-3, and the Yankees zoinked the Astros 8-4. But what is interesting is today the Cubs are going to play at 1:20. Tomorrow, Ball State takes on Auburn at Auburn, and the Packers and the Lions this Sunday.
Ball State will have their heads handed to them on the plate playing Auburn.
Ball State's going to drop the ball by Auburn, I hope. We hope.
Yeah,
And that's kind of it for sports today, Roger.
well said. I don't know about the rest of you, but I have a suspicion this has happened to you. Have you ever really brutalized a person's name unwittingly, unknowingly?
Oh, God, yeah.
Are you commenting on my
Embarrassing.
recent
I'm
sports
terrible
report
with
here?
names.
Well, it reminded me, no, I'm actually going to embarrass myself by saying that at one time I was training director for a couple of insurance companies, and on the first day I would read the names of the people who were supposed to be there. And one of the participants was a woman, and I pronounced her name as Mary Anus. And she quickly said, "That's Annis." And I could feel my whole body turning beet red, because how could you mispronounce it that bad?
Did your sphincter shrink?
And I went to bed for 2 weeks, still embarrassed, feeling bad. Of all the different ways you could have pronounced it, why did you say anus instead of anus? But it was.
It happens.
Now, anyone else want to share their embarrassing moment?
I'm terrible with names. I'm horrible with names. I don't know why. It's just something, some block of mine or something. I can't. I see a name in a script. Well, you've seen. I read it before, and I get to it, and I just.
Well,
freeze out.
you know, in radio, as I've mentioned, is sound authoritative.
Yeah.
And most people, will not question it. And if somebody listening knows that's incorrect, that might be one person, it might be 2 people for that matter. But everybody who's read news on this program has mispronounced somebody's name along the way, because some names are difficult. I'm sure people have probably mispronounced your last name, unusual, Disharoon.
Oh, yeah, I mean, when they're calling me at the airport, you just have to be attentive, because, you know, how they get some of these pronunciations out of what is phonetically Disharoon, you know, Disharon, you know, they're trying to make me Middle Eastern. They throw a little bit of Lebanese into that.
Will the illegal immigrant John Dishroni come to the speaker's
But
table?
there's nothing like Monroe rolling off the
Oh, I know that.
Roger
yeah,
Monroe.
I just shudder when I hear that. Catch the Monroe bus. President James Monroe, and it is, well, the worst ever was when I was at mail call at Fort Carson, Colorado, and I had mail call, and the guy who was calling out names of the letters actually read the way it was, because one of my friends purposely misspelled my last name as manure. And he announced it. Manure. I said, there's Monroe, but I don't know about the manure. And all the guys laughed.
Sure.
And when I looked at the letter, he had spelled it Manure. Purposely.
Did you carry that nickname?
No,
throughout
no,
the service?
no, not at all.
Yeah, so we all mispronounce, but you know what? If people had normal names, we wouldn't mispronounce them.
Yeah, well, we're supposed to. Everybody should be Smith or Jones.
Jack Quellen,
That's a good one.
Balake.
And
Balake.
heard that word. Yeah. All right, let's get into the news. .6:31, and let's have our news this morning. That's brought by certified public accountant and tax specialist Matt Wall. He is with Gordon Stockman Wall. He offers a wide range of services designed to address the ever-changing, and it is ever-changing, accounting and tax needs for individuals and businesses. He's been doing this for over 40 years. And his phone number is 309-692-4030. I happened to see an old text or email. Did you ask me once for the name of Matt Wall in a text?
I did.
I happened to go. Did I ever respond?
No.
That's what I was wondering because well, that's too bad. Anyway, that was what, a year
Sorry,
ago?
Matt, you lost about $1 billion worth of business there.
Yeah.
We were looking to reinsure a big policy.
Sorry.
Well, this he's an accountant. You were looking for an accountant or an insurance?
No, it was an accountant.
Okay.
Yeah, that guy went to jail. He didn't get it.
Yeah, well, that guy would be John for that matter. Anyway, here with the news is Terry.
The annual Marigold Festival in Pekin continues today through Sunday. Lots of activities today, including fun at the Carnival in Mineral Springs Park, a tailgate party near Circle Drive in Pekin High School, and more. We'll talk about the festival with Pekin Mayor Mary Burress following the 7:30 news this morning. Peoria police report the arrest of 34-year-old Jonathan Hudson after a neighbor told officers Hudson had fired a gun at him in the 1000 block of West Thrush early Wednesday evening. The alleged gunman has been charged with aggravated discharge of a firearm, assault with a firearm, unlawful use of a weapon, no FOID card, and criminal damage to property. Illinois State University is reporting an increase in student enrollment this school year. Officials said student population stands at 21,994. That's an increase of 448 more than last year. 19,513 are undergrads. It was a raucous Senate hearing in Washington, D.C., as Health and Human Services Secretary Robert Kennedy Jr. made an appearance. In an unprecedented verbal attack against the 71-year-old cabinet member, Democrats took turns lambasting the former Democrat for everything from his views about vaccines to the firing of Susan Monarez as head of the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. President Trump responded to the false rumors that he had died over the Labor Day weekend. Trump played 2 rounds of golf and prepared for the dinner he hosted at the White House for a number of top tech CEOs, including Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates. Elon Musk was not invited. In world news, the death toll from that earthquake in Afghanistan has now exceeded 2,200 as more bodies have been recovered from the debris. 98% of the buildings and homes in the Kunar province have been heavily damaged or destroyed. Aid agencies are calling for staff and supplies, including food. The president of Northwestern University, Michael Schill, has announced he's resigning. His resignation comes as the Trump administration is investigating claims the school failed to protect Jewish students. In making the announcement, Schill said, "I believe now is the right time for new leadership." Another Democrat judge's ruling has been reversed by a federal appeals court. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the 11th Circuit said Florida and immigration officials could resume housing illegal migrants at Alligator Alcatraz. Federal Judge Kathleen Williams, an appointee of President Obama, ordered officials to dismantle its fences, lights, and generators within 60 days. she lost. And those are the headlines, Roger.
Now a check of the weather brought to you by Mr. Weather, Kyle Varno, the Fortner Insurance. Kyle, an insurance professional. He can, with your help and cooperation, review your portfolio of coverage for home, auto, life, and health, and make sure you're getting a good deal. And you can contact Kyle today at area code 309-682-0519. And Kyle will be joining us a little later on. In the meantime, Terry has the weather.
Mostly cloudy and a little windy today, Roger. High 66. Tonight's low and nippy 48 for the high school football season. It kicks off tonight, right?
Yeah.
First deal. Tomorrow sunny and breezy, 72. Sunday sunny and 71. Monday sunny, 79. Right now it's 58 at the Wazoo.
Actually, it was kicked off last weekend.
It was last
yes,
weekend?
you know, we had some
Well, how'd we
predictions.
do?
Well, they're the results.
I got in
Let's
this
see,
pool. I
we
had no
didn't-
idea what I was talking about. What I was doing, but
Did you get into it?
I
Well,
did.
you can look and see how you did.
Let's see how
We don't have projections for this week because we didn't have a show on Monday, and John Meisinger, who is the executive director for the
That's right,
high
he's the-
school predictions on our
I
show.
don't know who won any of these. Do you know who won any of these?
Dunlap won.
Yeah, we have all the
You were
results.
100% at Dunlap because everybody had Dunlap.
Yeah.
Let's see who else won. Yeah, everybody won last week, 100%.
It was I guess an easy week for
Well,
the panel.
yeah, that was easy. That was a slam dunk.
Well, wait a minute.
What's that?
I wanted to mention about the terrible incident of the 93-year-old man stabbing, killing his wife with a knife. I can't get over the fact that at least one, if not both, local TV news departments got very graphic. And normally you just hear stab so-and-so died of the wounds and that's it. But they're going into details now, and I read on one of the websites, they gave even more graphic details, and I thought, what's going on here?
Because
You
of
know,
his age or something? Why did? Or
It
what?
is extremely unusual to have a 93-year-old individual. I mean, think about it.
yeah,
They
but you don't have
the
to
strength
say,
in that.
please,
No, they don't have to.
Why do you wait so long?
Well, it was ongoing, and they were getting ready to
Apparently divorce.
divorce, and there are other details that, to me, do not necessarily belong on public consumption. And for a TV station to say that ripped her throat, you know, have you heard any previous stabbing announcements or anything? Stabbed him in the back and it got his spleen.
No.
I've never heard of this. No, they never do that. You know, our coroner is really good about stuff like that.
Yes, he is.
He's a great guy when it comes to the really sad stuff that he's got to talk to people about. You know, he never says, "Well, they really suffered through this deal." He always says, "They were, you know, deceased
Died
instantly."
instantly.
And he, you know, he always
Received wounds incompatible with the existence
With
of life.
Right,
Yes.
right. Instead of somebody stabbed the hell out of him.
Yeah,
you know,
ripped
so-
his throat.
Yeah, no,
And,
he really knows very, very politically correct or
Tact.
Well, I don't know if it's
passionate.
politically
Passionate.
correct,
I should have
but
said politically.
diplomatically
Yeah, politics has nothing
and
to do.
tactfully,
absolutely.
in good taste. And so he's to be commended.
But
But
the
you know,
local
the
news
problem is you have a lot of young folks who are doing the news writing and reporting. And
We don't pay anything anymore.
what?
They don't pay anything. It's hard to get. They don't.
You're right.
They don't get a lot of good talent like they used to. They just these stations don't pay anymore for that.
Okay, on this day, September
Okay.
5th, in 1836,
Jeez.
we had an important event. What was it?
Where?
In the United States?
Well, see, that's what you're supposed to do.
Was it in the
See,
United States?
she's experienced
Was it in Britain?
jeopardy. It was in the United States, and now you want to narrow it down some more?
Yeah. What was it out east?
No,
Was it out west?
sort of.
Oh, is it in the Midwest?
No. See, now he narrowed it down when you said west, but sort of.
Yeah. And then you shot us down.
Yeah. In other words, yes, maybe.
So more like Arizona, Nevada, and that
Now
area.
that would be a category geographically as
Southeast.
Southwest.
Southwest. Thank you. Very good. Yes,
Okay.
but more south than west. So what state would that be?
Involve a purchase?
Mexico.
No, it's in the United States.
Oh, okay.
New Mexico.
If you want to say New Mexico, that would be acceptable, but incorrect.
Texas.
What in Sam Houston are you talking about there?
There you are. You're exactly right. Well, what happened?
In Houston,
In
Texas?
Texas.
In 1863?
That was by accident,
36.
wasn't it?
1836.
So it must have been Sam Houston, governor of Texas.
Well, that
No,
wasn't the title then.
1836.
So you got the right name, but the wrong title.
Oh.
Territory commander. What was he? What was in 1836?
Was he general?
No. Still a term that we use today, but not governor of a state. So if he wasn't governor, which was too early for that title, what other office would it be as the head?
Well,
exec-
Texas was the lone thing. Was he president?
Yes.
President of
very
Texas. Yeah.
good. No, you're not supposed to say was he. You're supposed to say
He was.
Was.
yes.
Really?
Yes,
They
he
called
was
it-
elected
I
president.
didn't know that. Okay.
They called it the
Texas Territory?
Republic, the Republic of Texas,
Okay.
and it earned its independence from.
Mexico.
Yes, in a successful military rebellion. In 1832, what president sent Houston to Texas, which was then a Mexican province? What was the president then? To negotiate treaties with local indigenous, I love that word, people for protection of border traders. Later on, they could have used him during the Biden administration, but he was deceased.
Would have been President Monroe.
No, but thank you. My family thanks you for that.
President Monroe.
President Manure?
I'm going to shoot myself for bringing that story out.
I don't know.
We'll try another president.
Tyler?
So two, 3, 4
In
administrations before.
1832.
1832.
I don't know, Terry, this is on you.
Let's see what clue I could give you. There was a hardware store many years ago in Pioneer Park. What was the name of it?
Dawson's.
Yeah, it was Dawson's.
Handy Andy.
Yes.
Oh,
Buchanan.
Andrew.
Pardon?
Andrew Buchanan.
Andrew Jackson.
Andrew Jackson is correct. Very good. Houston arrived during a time of rising tensions between U.S. settlers and Mexican authorities. In 1835, Texas formed a provisional government which issued a Declaration of Independence from Mexico. The following year, Houston was appointed commander of the Texas Army, and it goes on. He served as president of the Republic of Texas from 1836 to 1838. And then again, I wonder what happened from 1841 to 1844. What happened? Maybe he couldn't do it consecutive.
Just took a break.
Yeah,
Maybe.
very well.
All right.
All right. Since we're not going to be here Saturday, here is the question for Saturday, September 6, 1915. Something was produced for the first time, and it was a military item. What was it?
Was it a tank? What was
No.
it? Was
Now,
it,
why would you say that?
well, why wouldn't I? What?
Well, I'm asking the
It's a
questions, all
military-
right.
I don't know. I'm just guessing
Well,
about
that
it.
is right. You're right.
Oh,
It's just talk about a shot in the dark.
well,
that
that's all it was. It's just,
A
how I
prototype
got here.
bank. What was it nicknamed?
Sherman.
That was after the war.
1915.
What was it named?
Armored vehicle.
Terry.
Yeah.
Terry the tank.
You know that was very good.
Terry the Tank Engine.
Cute fellas, but no cigar.
What was it called? I don't know. Was it after the guy who?
All right, I'll give you the first of his two names. Little what?
Little Sherman?
I don't know.
Starting with letter W.
Little Willie.
Yes, that's very good.
Same thing.
And rolled off the assembly line in what country?
Germany.
Incorrect.
The United States?
No,
Russia.
no,
No, they wouldn't.
Poland?
no. You're in the right area. I mean, it was Europe, a European country.
France.
Incorrect.
Belgium.
Incorrect.
Netherlands.
Incorrect.
East or west?
Why don't you go across the pond?
United Kingdom.
England.
England?
And Little Willie, by the way, was far from an overnight success. It weighed, being a Caterpillar guy, you can appreciate this. It weighed 14 tons. That's a Little Willie was
That's
not little.
Little Willie.
It's 28,000 pounds. Little Willie. Willie won't go home.
That's a big Willie.
They can't make Willie go. Willie won't go. Tried telling everybody, but Willie's too heavy.
That's a big Willie.
That was good. I don't remember my mom telling me that, no little riddle, but that was cute. It got stuck in trenches and crawled over rough terrain at 2 miles per hour.
Ooh.
However, improvements were made to the original prototype, and tanks eventually transformed military battlefields, as we know.
Well, thank you for that.
All right, September 7th, 1813, something happened in terms of, this is going to be difficult to give you clues without
Well, you've got
really
the
opening
answer.
the door, but that's my responsibility,
Yes, it is.
and I take it very seriously.
Thank you.
We came up with a new name in this country.
Okay, in this country.
1813.
Proper name?
Well, I wouldn't call it improper.
Was it for a product?
No.
Was
Was
it
it for a person?
For water? For a body of water?
No, no to you, and what would you say, Terry?
What, was it a person?
I mean,
Jack Quellen?
JT.
no.
Balake?
Monroe?
No, hey, we went through that drill earlier.
We're on tape delay, aren't we?
Yes.
Okay, so is it for a location then? Like
No.
a city?
No,
And it's not a person?
It was a nickname.
For a
For a person? For an object?
for a position that a person would
Well,
hold?
for a person. When you get the answer, you'll understand why I'm struggling.
Is it short for Richard?
No.
Dick.
Was it
Nice.
old Hickory?
Okay, now you're getting into the arena of possibilities.
A political nickname.
Well, let's see. No, it's not. Wasn't really political, and it was very, very popular. And this will open the door. It was very popular in World War II.
The Doughboy.
Close.
Snafu.
No.
Tarfu.
What was that word?
Tarfu.
No.
Things are real.
For unlawful carnal knowledge.
No. Okay. No.
Did it have? Was it derogatory towards women?
No. It was very. This ought to do it.
Okay.
Very patriotic.
Uncle
Old
Sam.
Glory.
What'd you say?
Old Glory.
Uncle Sam.
Uncle Sam is correct.
Oh.
And he
Before
got
it was
his
just
nickname
Sam.
Uncle Sam, and the name is linked to who? What person?
Sam.
Okay, very good. Samuel. What was his last name?
Samuel Adams.
No,
Monroe.
no. He was a meat packer from Troy, New York. He supplied barrels of beef to the U.S. Army during the War of 1812.
Oh, Sam the Meat Man.
Sam Wilson.
That's Sam the Meat Man. That's what he went by.
That's what
And he stamped the barrels with U.S. for United States, but soldiers began referring to the grub as Uncle Sam's.
U.S.
Isn't that a great story?
So what came first, Uncle Sam or Uncle Tom?
Yeah.
I think Uncle Tom.
Oh, yeah, Big Tom.
The local newspaper picked up on the story in an article published September 7, 1813, and Uncle Sam eventually gained widespread acceptance as the nickname for the U.S. federal government. What do you remember most about Uncle Sam?
He wants
point.
you.
Want
Uncle
you.
Sam wants you.
Pointed at
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's Phil Salzer when you need him? Phil would know that. He was a history teacher.
Yes, he was. Did you have him?
I did. He was an outstanding history teacher.
Yes, well known and well liked.
And he was an equally exceedingly strong coach. He never coached me, but
Yeah,
all the
but
guys
he
that
was
remember him.
basically an assistant coach, except for, was it track or cross country?
I don't know, but he was a legend on the sidelines of all of them.
You're a
you know.
Central grad?
Yeah, he
So
worked
am
PHS.
What year?
as an
82.
assistant coach.
Oh, 74.
Yeah, you were back there.
Youngster.
Yeah, Saint Cecilia.
Well, I will tell you, boys and girls, you
Did we get another one?
did very
That
well.
wasn't three,
No,
was it?
that's it.
Yeah, that was
Oh, that was 3. Okay.
Yeah, that was 3.
Okay. Well, that was 2 Mondays.
yeah, but I know you enjoyed
Here, you looking for
the
these?
yeah.
I memorized all those.
Yeah. For here's a bonus question for you before we go to our pet tip of the day. What U.S. agency rated the offices of Steve Jackson Games, believing its GURPS cyberpunk title was a handbook for computer crime? What agency?
FBI.
No, it'd be
Good.
Secret Service. Secret Service.
Secret Service is right. See, now don't you feel bad? That was the bonus question. Now,
I feel pretty good.
what is the
breeze
name?
right through that.
What is the name of the program we are about to play for you?
Pet tip of the day.
Secret pet tip of the day.
Today's pet tip is brought to you by Peoria Pet Crematory of Peoria and Lewiston, providing final care for family pets large and small, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Their phone number is 713-1898. That's 713-1898. More information is available at peoriapetcrematory.com.
Pet lovers are dedicated to their animals, all species from horses to turtles and of course cats and dogs. If you are a pet lover, learn these little-known, somewhat amazing facts about your pet. Alopecia, meaning hair loss in cats, isn't a disease in itself, but a symptom and an important one not to be ignored. All cats lose hair, but alopecia is defined as an excessive loss of hair. There are many possible causes of alopecia in cats, and they can be defined as self-induced or non-self-induced. Some possible causes are flea or food allergies, ringworm, drug reaction, Cushing's disease, hypothyroidism, stress, surgery, illness, and/or sunburn, to name just a few. So if your cat has bald spots or is losing more hair than usual, you need to get your pet to the vet immediately. Early diagnosis is key in dealing with this malady. Your veterinarian will perform a complete physical examination and pay careful attention to the location, size, and shape of the area of hair loss. The vet will note if any other symptoms are also present. He will need to establish if the cat has been scratching, itching, how long it has been having these symptoms, if it has recently had any medications, topical, or flea and worming products, or any injections. Specific blood tests, skin scrapings, or cultures may be needed to determine the reason. Treatment depends on the underlying cause of the alopecia, but it is treatable. But it must be treated. It won't go away on its own. This whisker of information has been made possible by a grant from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting in partnership with Spot, Saving Pets One at a Time, and KSBR Studios. Produced by Joseph C. McGuire and theme music by Stuardo Glasser.
Today's pet tip has been brought to you by Peoria Pet Crematory of Peoria and Lewiston, providing final care for family pets, large and small, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Their phone number is 713-1898. That's 713-1898. More information is available at PeoriaPetCrematory.com.
What's the weather look like?
Mostly cloudy and windy today, Roger, with a high just 66 today. Tonight's low and nippy, 48 right now. We're sitting at 58.
Yeah, we were talking about high school football and how this weather is very conducive to football this time of the year, particularly when you have temperatures, tonight around 48 degrees.
48 degrees, that's gonna seem kinda
Now, here's
chilly.
my question is, I've asked this before, when was the last time any of us in this room went to a high school football game?
I went last season.
I think
Oh, you did?
I
Yeah.
think I went to one last season, yeah.
You did too?
I think so, yeah.
Terry, was it 1948 or?
No, let's see. I watched my brother play. He's 6 years behind me. It would have been about 1981, maybe, 1980.
Yeah.
Where did you go, down to Canton or?
Yeah, so when Dunlap plays
Dunlap?
Canton, I try to go to that if I'm here, and I come back several times during the winter for board meetings, and if they're playing that weekend,
You'll go
then
to a
then
game?
I'll go to a game. And, it's always nice to go back to the Eagles Nest and see folks in
Sure.
Dunlap and see the next generation of kids coming up. And I know all the coaches and stuff, so it's good to see those folks. But they, usually it's the way the schedule works. It's in Canton or Limestone or something that's a little bit closer to Weematuck than having to come all the way into the Eagles Nest. But I'll come in if we're here.
Actually, I take that back. I forgot. Forgive me. My nephew played for Peoria Heights.
Oh, well, there you go.
So that would have been in the 90s. I went to a few
Oh, there you go.
games over at Peoria Heights. Football games.
Mine was in the 90s, 1890. I think the last time. No, my grandson, who is now 26, played football with Champaign Centennial, and they were playing Peoria High at the stadium. So how many years would that have been?
Oh, my.
He's 26, so
10
probably
years ago.
9 years ago, something like that. And he played across. He was also a defensive lineman. He played across from the kid Green, I think his name is, who went on to, was it University of Illinois, played down in Champaign. I forget his name, but he was
Is it
outstanding football player. Might even be in the pros now.
Marcus Green, is that his
Maybe.
name?
I don't know if it's Marcus or not, but yeah, that was the last time. And the stadium on the east side was in shambles. The sidewalks were broken and very dangerous.
Peoria Stadium?
Part of the bleachers was off limits, and that's where visiting teams always went, is where the home team
Kind of
stayed
across the way.
under the grandstand. And that grandstand, by the way, has been refurbished and renovated and so forth. And that's one of the few places that high school kids play football where the audience, the crowd, can sit under a roof. Most are in open areas, particularly the rural schools for that
Richwoods,
matter.
I think Richwoods
Does Dunlap doesn't have a grandstand, do they, as with a roof, or do they?
They don't, and they're putting in a new athletic complex out there that's going to have, I think, a dome on it or a bubble or something, but
Oh,
it's not going to
really?
be for football. But Chillicothe just did like a $20 million renovation and put in an Olympic-sized track, and they might have put a balloon over their football field.
I like that, a balloon over it. Yeah,
Like
a
the
dome.
like the Louisville Slugger. It's inflatable, so it's not a hard top.
Well, they
like
put something like that out at the
Yeah, the stadium now has a dome, but not over the football
No, they
field.
didn't put it over. What they put it over? The parking lot? I mean,
No, I think it's for indoor baseball, softball, volleyball,
Okay.
et cetera, and so forth. It's a beautiful facility, I'm told. Mike Olson has been there and
I
said
drove
it's
by it.
gorgeous.
I
Yeah.
haven't been in it.
Remember when they were going to turn that into a Sam's Club or something, and
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
Yeah, the
controversy.
neighborhood,
Yeah.
yeah.
neighborhood went
Yeah.
up in arms?
Well, and it became very politically charged and also governmentally involved because part of the field, the state had ownership because they loaned some money. And so they had to get their approval for anything and everything. And so those plans, because the school district one time was going to sell that land, which would have been, heartbreaking.
Do you remember when they used to shoot the fireworks off the 4th of July at the stadium?
Yes.
Remember that?
Well, going back even further, it used to be a racetrack, horses.
Yeah.
And they had a carnival every year when I was growing up.
At the stadium?
Yeah, they'd bring in the circus with,
Really?
elephants.
What's a circus?
Yeah, they'd
Ringling
bring in all these animals that were treated poorly.
Yes,
And-
according to who.
PETA?
Yes.
I don't know Peter. Who's Peter?
PETA. Kendrick Green, is that the person you're
That's
thinking
it.
of?
You got it. Nice going,
NFL.
sports guy.
NFL player.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he was drafted by the Steelers.
Good football player. Hey, we have news, weather, sports coming up in the next hour. We're going to talk to the mayor of Pekin, Illinois, Mary Burress, who's doing an outstanding job. Under her leadership, Pekin is jumping and jiving, and we'll find out about the Marigold Festival that's going on right now and some other things, development in the city of Pekin, Illinois. So stay tuned. You're having breakfast with Roger and Friends on WAZU FM 90.7 in wonderful Peoria, Illinois, and also on YouTube. Good to see everybody. It's 7:02. Goodness gracious, time flies when you're having fun. It is a Friday, the 5th day of the month of September, and we begin with a look at the weather brought to you by Steve Sink. He's the managing partner of PHX Affiliates. He's been around doing this as a broker for more than 20 years. He'll help you sell or buy a business. He knows business. You can reach Steve Sink at 309-696-8508. Again, Steve Sink at 309-696-8508. Terry, what do you have?
Mostly cloudy and windy today, Roger. A high 66 for the high school football games tonight. It'll be a little nippy 48. Tomorrow, sunny and breezy 72. Sunday, sunny and 71. Monday, sunny and 79. Right now, it's 58 at the Wazoo.
Well, let's get into the news brought to you by Sam Lilly and Associates. Sam is an insurance broker. He's been doing that for over 40 years. He knows what he's talking about, and he can help you. You can get more information about insurance from Sam Lilly at 309-245-4374. Here's Terry.
The annual Marigold Festival in Pekin continues today through Sunday. Lots of activities today, including fun at the Carnival in Mineral Springs Park, a tailgate party near Circle Drive in Pekin High School, and more. We'll talk about the festival, as we've said, with Pekin Mayor Mary Burress following the 7:30 news this morning.
Peoria police report the arrest of 34-year-old Jonathan Hudson after a neighbor told officers Hudson had fired a gun at him in the 1000 block of West Thrush early Wednesday evening. The alleged gunman has been charged with aggravated discharge of a firearm, assault with a firearm, unlawful use of a firearm, no FOID card, and criminal damage to property.
Illinois State University is reporting an increase in student enrollment this school year. Officials said student population stands at 21,994. That's an increase of 448 more than last year. 19,513 are undergrads.
It was a really crazy Senate hearing in Washington, D.C. as Health and Human Services Secretary Robert Kennedy Jr. made an appearance. In an almost unprecedented verbal attack against the 71-year-old Trump cabinet member, Democrats took turns lambasting the former Democrat for everything from his views about vaccines to the firing of Susan Monores as head of the Center for Disease Control and Prevention after only 3 months on the job.
The rhetoric was vicious and sometimes repugnant. No subject was off limits for the attacks, including the mass shootings in Minneapolis. Democrat after Democrat hammered Kennedy, with many calling for his resignation or firing. Even some Republicans, like Louisiana Bill Cassidy and Tom Tillis of North Carolina, also challenged the controversial Kennedy. President Trump is standing firm in his support for the Health and Human Services Secretary, saying more needs to be done to ensure the safety of the drugs we're taking and the food we're eating.
President Trump responded to the false rumors that he had died over the Labor Day weekend. Trump played 2 rounds of golf and prepared for a dinner that he hosted at the White House for a number of top-notch CEOs, including Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates. Elon Musk was not invited.
In world news, the death toll from that earthquake in Afghanistan has now exceeded 2,200 as more bodies have been recovered from the debris. 98% of the buildings and homes in Kannar province have been heavily damaged or destroyed. Aid agencies are calling for staff and supplies, including food.
The president of Northwestern University, Michael Schill, has announced he's resigning. His resignation comes as the Trump administration is investigating claims the school failed to protect Jewish students. In making the announcement, Schill said, "I believe now is the right time for new leadership." He's not going far. He'll return to teach and conduct research at the Northwestern Pritzker School of Law.
Another Democrat judge's ruling has been reversed by a federal appeals court. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the 11th Circuit said Florida and immigration officials could resume housing illegal migrants at Alligator Alcatraz. Federal Judge Kathleen Williams, an appointee of President Obama, ordered officials to dismantle its fences, lights, and generators within 60 days. She lost. Officials say they're posting signs open for business. Oh, no, not really.
Not really. It's still a good story, isn't it?
It's, good story.
Let's find out what is going on in the newsroom at WCBU.
From the WCBU Newsroom, I'm Courtney Conroy. East Peoria's new downtown open green space is ready for the public after 10 years in the making. Community leaders held a soft opening and ribbon cutting for Levy Park this week. East Peoria Community Foundation President Sue Porcheller says they hope the space adjacent to City Hall will become a popular attraction.
I think it's going to be a draw, just a natural draw for people to come down here, stop here, take pictures here, bring lunch over. Moms can let their toddlers play in the splash pad and they can sit right, on the edge.
The $3 million park was funded entirely through state grants and community donations. Tazewell County prosecutors are seeking to keep a 93-year-old Pekin man accused of killing his wife in custody until his trial begins. James Pate is charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder in the death of 80-year-old Cheryl Pate. He allegedly cut her throat Tuesday during the course of an argument. Peoria County Coroner Jamie Harwood says an autopsy shows Cheryl Pate suffered multiple sharp force injuries. Year-to-date crime statistics from the Peoria Police Department show less than half as many shooting murders compared to last year. 4 of the city's 8 homicides through the end of August were by gunshot. In the first 8 months of 2024, Peoria had 8 fatal shootings out of 10 murders. Compared to 2 years ago, total homicides are down nearly 60%. The statistics show total shooting incidents have dropped by 23% in the past year, and almost 900 fewer rounds have been fired. And the Prairieland Punishers Roller Derby say the close relationships they've built with their teammates are a big reason why they love the sport. By day, 57-year-old Goldie Rocks from Pekin works for the Postal Service. But when she puts on her skates and helmet, Goldie Rocks becomes a dominant blocker charged with stopping the other team from scoring.
And I have met so many different people from so many different backgrounds and so many different lifestyles that it really has changed my viewpoints and my thoughts on just people in general.
The Prairieland Punishers compete in a doubleheader Saturday night at the Interstate Center in Bloomington. I'm Courtney Conroy, WCBU News.
We've got to quit playing games while we're listening to WCBU because we missed the cue and we need to play the sports theme. All right, here's sports with Sean Disharoon.
I don't think we missed the cue
Yeah.
by any means.
Yes, because some of the things that go on verbally distract the operator.
Let's just say orally.
Okay.
In the city of brotherly love, Jalen Hurts shrugged on a TD celebration and did his best to be like Mike. You know what that means?
Yes, Mike Ditka.
No, Michael Jordan is his mentor and
Oh,
sports
really?
hero. And so remember when Mike, this would be great for the YouTube audience, when Michael would shoot those threes and go,
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts did
Yeah.
after a touchdown. He's like,
Oh, really?
See, when you said Mike, I remembered Mike Ditka threw his gum at Phil Theobald. The obnoxious Journal Star reporter said some things to Ditka, and he was lucky that Ditka threw gum.
And not
because
something else.
if he had gone over to Theobald, he would have been looking like a pancake at IHOP.
he'd have pounded him.
Yeah.
Well, through spit and rain, a ceremony, and a setback, Hurts and the Super Bowl champion Eagles weathered the storm and showed why they're again a favorite to hoist a second straight Lombardi trophy. Now, you can't do a sports story without talking about the Packers, right?
No,
I mean,
yeah,
Lombardi.
yeah. Since you're a Packer fan.
Hurts rushed for 2 touchdowns for the Eagles, who lost hot-tempered star defender Jalen Carter 6 seconds into the game. Early for spitting on Dak Prescott, then withstood a rare weather delay, call it lightning, and needed a late stop to beat the Dallas Cowboys 24-20 early Friday in a wild start to the NFL season. With one last chance at a comeback, Prescott threw an incomplete pass on 4th and 3 with 1:54 left to send what was left of a thinned-out Eagles crowd into a frenzy. The game ended at 12:18 a.m.
Was that our time or Eastern time?
That's our time.
Midnight.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah, it was. And asked me why I'm tired this morning.
You stayed up and watched
I
it?
didn't. I love Roger, but I'm like, you know what? ESPN will have this in the morning. I can do a recap. They get paid to stay up late. And with the new NFL season comes an assortment of rule changes and points of emphasis that will undoubtedly enter public discussion over the next 5 months. The league has tweaked its kickoff, hoping to generate a much higher return rate. So previously, if it went into the end zone, they set the ball on the 30 as a touchback, and now it's going to be on the 35, hoping to incent the kickers to kick it short of the end zone and give these guys a chance to return it, because they used to return about 12 to 14% of the kickoffs, and last season it was under 5%.
Yeah.
Everybody just let it go in the end zone.
Yeah. Yeah. What was the reason for the initial change?
Because they
Injuries, wasn't it?
Injuries, because they were lining up differently, so guys had a 60-yard head start to go tackle a guy that just picked up a ball. And so if he didn't get his fair catch sign up, he was getting annihilated by these guys. So now they line up differently. They can't run until after it's kicked, and they get to make their way down the field.
After it's touched.
Right. So they moved them back 20 yards with the kickoff, and they used to be able to line up forward. Bunch of rule changes.
So the idea is you don't have as good a chance to cold cock the guy as you used to.
Because it's about safety in the NFL. Such a brutal sport. The competition committee wanted to make overtime fairer. It's employing technology to support its Mike Olson here, on-field officials, and warned players that it will be vigilant and discipline them for violations of the league's sportsmanship rules, which is evidenced by last night's kicking out of the game of the Hawk Tua. And after months of debate, the league decided that the Eagles' tush-push short yardage play would remain legal for at least one more season. A proposal to ban that move fell 2 votes shy of proposal from the owners. In action in Flushing Meadows in New York, Amanda Anisimova battled from a set down to beat Naomi Osaka in a thrilling U.S. Open semifinal last night to reach her second Grand Slam final in a row. The 8th-seeded Anisimova won 6-7, 7-6, 6-3, and will face number 1-seeded Aryna Sabalenka in Saturday's final. Sabalenka defeated number 4 Jessica Pegula, an American, 4-6, 6-3, 6-4 in the semifinals earlier last night in a rematch of last year's final. She moved one victory away from becoming the first woman to claim consecutive championships at Flushing Meadows since Serena Williams got 3 in a row from 2012 to 2014.
Where is Sabalenka from? Is she Croatian, Russian?
She is Belarus.
Belaruski.
Okay. Yeah. In Minneapolis, Kyle Teal hit a 3-run home run. Colson, Montgomery, Hormuth, and drove in 3. And the Chicago White Sox beat the Minnesota Twins 11-8 last night. Chase Medroth had 4 hits as the White Sox came back from 3 runs down for the second consecutive night against Minnesota to win their 5th straight game, season high, 5th straight game. Teal and Edgar Cuero each had 3 hits. Wickelman Gonzalez struck out 2 and allowed no hits on 1 1/3 innings to earn his first career win in relief. Frazier Ellard was the opener for Chicago, throwing 1 1/3 innings, 2 hits, 2 strikeouts. Luke Keschall had 4 hits and 2 runs scored for the Twins. Mickey Gasper had 3 RBI, and Matt Wallner and Cody Clemens homered. Travis Adams, 1 and 3, allowed 3 hits and 4 runs in 1 inning of relief for Minnesota, which is 3 and 7 in its last 10 games. That's 30%, Roger.
Mm-hmm.
In Pittsburgh, Paul Skeens pitched 6 scoreless innings and earned his 10th win of the season as the Pittsburgh Pirates beat the National League West leading Los Angeles Dodgers 5-3 on Thursday night to complete a 3-game series sweep. So the worst game in baseball beat the worst team in baseball beat the best
Are
team
they
in
worse
baseball.
than Colorado?
They are. Nobody's as bad as the Pirates. And I'll tell you a story about the Pirates here in a little bit.
Okay, I can't wait.
Skeens allowed 2 hits, struck out 8, walked 1. The right-hander finally got his record above 500 for the first time this season and lowered his ERA to a major league best 198. This dude's on the worst team in baseball, and he's got the best ERA, which means he's going to get traded.
Well, it also means that good pitching beats good hitting.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a great point coming from the brother of a fine pitcher himself.
Well, thank you very much.
Skeens last season's National League Rookie of the Year, who was 4-8 this season for the last place Pirates, has won 6 of his last 7 decisions. Hard to do in Major League Baseball this year. The Dodgers were held to 5 hits and had their division league cut to 2 games over idle San Diego. So San Diego's like, just beat those boys. We move up in the standings, and nobody else does. In other Major League Baseball, the Phillies beat the Brewers 2-0. The Rays 4-2 over the Guardians. The Royals beat the Angels 4-3, and the Yankees zoinked the Astros 8-4. Coming up this weekend, actually tonight, this afternoon, Chicago Cubs host the Nationals at 1:20 p.m. You can see that on Apple TV because you can't watch it anyplace else. Auburn hosts Ball State, and the Packers host the Lions on Sunday.
That'll be a good game.
Bears don't play till Monday night. Bears and Vikings, Monday night Night Football.
Ooh. Any predictions, Mr. Football?
I think the Bears will lose.
I think you're right about
But I
that.
believe the
How
Pac-
about the Packers
So I
and
think
the
the
Lions?
Packers. So the Lions beat the Packers twice last year, for the first time in 100 years maybe. But now that the Packers have got this defensive guy from the Cowboys, and did some changes off season, I think the Packers are going to give them a good game. I hope they can win it out. I have to check and see what what Vegas thinks on that game. But as a Packers fan, I think they can pull out their home opener against the Lions. on
Are
Sunday.
they yet? That game is in Green Bay?
Lambeau Field?
Okay.
Where is
I assume you've been to Lambeau Field?
Oh yeah, I had season tickets for many years. I know Lambeau well.
And that's sports?
That's a wrap on sports.
Yeah, I was hoping.
F-I-S-T-E-R, Mr. Touchdown, USA. They always call him.
Boy, you remember when we used to play that on the radio all the time?
Never heard this before.
Yeah, Mr. Touchdown USA. And who's the orchestra? The German fella.
Doc Severinsen.
No.
Kemper?
No. Oh, that was a good guess. Bert Kemper. Hugo Winterhalter. I love that name. Good. Deutschland. Guten Morgen. Now, with all the football scores, I used to do a show on WSIV in the morning that read all the college football scores, and that was our theme.
It's a happy tune.
It is a happy day.
Yeah. All right, Ben, go on down.
Hey Roger, do we have a way to plug into the phone, or can I play this through the mic?
You can play through the mic, Will.
So my birthday was a couple days ago.
No, you didn't tell us that.
Yeah, well,
Get a donut out and let's light it up and sing Happy Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Stop.
Happy birthday, dear Hugo.
So
no.
a friend of mine sent this to me, and it's a smash up that I'm sure you can do online. I don't know.
But
what
you got to
pay
hold
for
it straight on that microphone.
But I'll
It's very directional.
I'll play it for you here, and it's
Straight.
I've done a lot of things in my career, but this takes the cake. This is so cool. You, John, today, it's all about you. You were born today. It's your birthday. It's exciting. It makes me want to celebrate. Makes me want to get up out of this chair. Makes me want to sing. Makes me want to dance. Makes me want to shout. Kick my heels up. Throw my hands up. Toss my head back. No, really, people should be shouting your name in the street. Come on now. Sing that name. Sing that song. Sing that Sing it out loud. I want to celebrate. Put it up in lights. It's your birthday. Happy birthday. See, no one else deserves to be celebrated like you because you are the best. I want you to know. I want you to know. I said I want you to know. I want you to know right now. You make me want to shout. That's right. You make me want to shout because there really is no doubt. You know what I'm talking about because you make me want to shout. Yeah! You make me want to.
Oh, that's
That is wonderful.
now. How many of you had Captain Kirk send you a message on your birthday?
I
Who
did
sent
not.
that to you?
You know, he gets A+ for that. He
Yeah.
was sensational. That is outstanding.
Buying you the
What's his name?
William Shatner,
William Shatner. Yeah.
Captain Kirk,
Yeah.
Yep.
Sharky,
Yeah.
And T.J. Hooker,
T.J. Hooker.
And
Sharky was
Denny
his
Crane.
Denny Crane. I didn't watch that show. I couldn't
It was
remember
a good
what
show. It was for Boston Legal. It was a very good show.
Yeah.
You guys,
you're a
I'm
black
out of it
man.
when it comes to TV shows. You guys do watch a lot of TV, don't you?
Never seen it.
No, I don't do a lot of
You,
TV.
well, you knew all the names. I mean,
Well, that
Miss
was from a long
Jeopardy,
time ago.
she knows all the songs, the movies, the shows.
Well, yeah,
I
she's
know a lot.
trivia.
Well, yes, you do.
Yeah, I don't know that stuff.
Well, happy birthday.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're entirely welcome. That reminds me of
What'd you
a
get?
question for the panel. Who is Elon Musk? I'm serious. He one moment
Different dude.
in a part of his life he was critical of Donald Trump. Then they became bosom buddies. Now they're no longer bosom buddies.
I think that was a mistake.
And
we were just talking about
what?
that the other day. I don't think he should have been invited to the Oval Office and made a big deal. I think that was a mistake on Trump's part to put his arms around that guy so
Well,
much for so
my
long.
question isn't
He's a
about
weird
Donald
dude.
Trump. It's about who is Elon Musk.
He's a weird guy.
That's my conclusion. He's kind of different.
Well, he's on the spectrum.
He's
Let's
on
not make fun of him. He's
Yeah,
protected.
he's on the deal. He's on that
He
spectrum.
is?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Asperger's or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I did not know that.
I mean,
Oh,
he's
seriously,
borderline
Joe
brilliant, but he is one of those guys that just focuses and does it. He's much better in public now than he was 15 years ago, but he works
really
at it.
weird that long time ago.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I thought he was different, but I thought he was just had a personality that was,
He's Einstein-esque. You know, he's a modern day
Yeah,
Einstein,
Yeah.
literally. But Einstein would do horrible on talk shows. Right? I mean,
And now our next contestant, Albert Einstein.
No, he
That's
was-
it.
I mean, he brought us the atomic bomb, but put him on Jimmy Kimmel or
E equals
or Johnny
MC
Carson,
squared.
and Carson say, "Well, thanks for showing up tonight."
Yeah, he was brilliant, but he had no social skills whatsoever.
Yeah.
Well, I was wondering because he had the President Donald Trump out, all these CEOs, Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, and I don't know who the other shrinks were that were there, and Elon Musk wasn't invited. And knowing as little as I do about him, he had to feel kind of bad gosh, I wish I would have been able to be there and not get invited after walking around the halls and the walls of
Hanging
the
out in the
White
Oval
House.
Office.
Yeah, but he took on Trump. When he left, they both said, well, we're just going to have a part in the ways. He's going to go back and focus on his company that just lost $200 billion in market cap. When the stock dropped. But Elon didn't go quietly. He lobbied against the big, beautiful bill and said it was full of crap, which, of course, it was. But while Trump was trying to pick up one or two more votes, Elon was trying to pick him off. And then he said, we're going to start another party, kind of the conservative Republican wing, independent party, and challenge all these people. And Trump didn't need that distraction. I mean, nobody needed it, but he's like, hey, I got money. I'm gonna. And what did he put into the election? I mean, it was an
amazing
huge amount of money.
320 million or 230
Pritzker-esh money,
Oh yeah.
And so they, and then Trump lately has come out and said, well, Elon's got some problems. And he said, the president said that Elon didn't like the bill because he took away all the electric subsidies.
Yeah.
So
well, that was a valid comment.
Well, sure.
Because he was living high and mighty, and he really helped the electric car industry. Bragg got into the car and sat in a beautiful car and all that, and you don't hear that
on the
anymore.
White House lawn.
Yeah.
But a buddy of mine drives a Tesla, and the numbers are going to be off a little bit, but let's call it a $70,000 car, and there was a $10,000 or $15,000 state of Illinois incentive, and a $20,000 federal incentive. So a $70,000 car came down to like 45. And then everybody gives them free electricity because you can go to, Hy-Vee and plug it in, and Walmart and plug it in, and Hyatt hotels and plug it in. And there's something else, maybe immediate depreciation if it was for his business. But it was, you're making a very expensive car affordable for folks under subsidies. And, of course, those subsidies are gone, I think, effective September 1st of this month. So the electric car sales are just going to
plummet.
Stop.
Have you ever considered buying?
I did. It's not practical for us because we do this commute from the Midwest to Florida, and I don't want to take 3 days to get there, when I can do it in 15 hours. But when we're there, it'd be perfect for Karen because she goes from the house to the beach and the house to tennis and back and forth, and forth. It'd be perfect for her in the summertime here because she goes from the lake to tennis. And
Just
the lake
buy one down there and park it down there.
Yeah, and then you got that whole, stranded asset discussion about, do you really want to leave a car sitting for a couple of months while you're not there? So it's not practical for us now. My goal has always been, I love the technology. I think the Cybertruck is ugly, and I don't think anybody's come up with anything near as nice
Well, the
electric vehicle.
That Lightning's pretty
the
nice.
truck,
Yeah.
right. Yeah. But until I can get from Weematuck to a Cub game and back on a charge, I'm not interested. if you can't get me to Chicago and back without, trying to find some place in Wrigleyville to plug in my car while I watch a Cubs game.
Well, if you did, it'd cost you an arm and a leg.
Or you come back and your car's gone or your cord's cut. It's just, there's just too much out there. But I'll tell you what, when you travel across the country and stay at a Hyatt or, for that matter, even Hilton, the first 20 parking lots or parking spaces near the building are plug-ins for Teslas.
Really?
They've sponsored these hotels, and so you check in late and you're parking half a mile away and you're dragging your suitcase to there, and there's all these blank spots. There's 2 Teslas charging, and there's 18 spots for them. And I'm like, okay, well, you're incentivizing these people to stay at the hotels, but could we move them out a little bit? These guys don't even have to drive because the car's driving for them. Maybe they could walk a block.
Yeah.
to get to their charger.
Well, you got to get creative, John. You park your gasoline-powered car in one of those slots and get the hose and put it in your trunk and go in, and
No, they wouldn't know.
and they would know the difference. They don't go out and say, "Well, what must be a new type of electric
Let's see,
car?"
that's a big black Ford F-250 Super Duty diesel with, as Roger called it, a hose
It's
sticking in my bed.
Kind of like parking in the handicap space and getting out and limping.
Yeah, I thought I recognized you at a Walmart the other day, where that Walmart does something. It's not. They don't have the typical handicap. They have places at the front for the men and women in blue for police.
Oh, yeah.
And I've never quite figured that out.
Because they're called there on an hourly basis.
But those people are in better shape than I am.
Yeah.
I'm 91 and I have to park at Farm and Fleet to shop at Walmart.
Yeah.
Because of the
You seen the
parking.
pregnant ones? There's a pregnant.
No,
one.
I know.
Yeah, there's
yeah,
some
they-
for expectant,
yeah.
expectant
Expectant
mothers. I've seen one for veterans.
And so that day, I declared, I identified as a
It
pregnant
was
woman.
a pregnant woman.
And I pulled in, held my belly out,
Yeah.
got my Shasta.
You know, they need a place for people like me, expectant dying. And so, you know,
Near death.
yeah,
Circling the drain.
Yeah, and yeah, put it right, you know, right next to the door. And,
At Roger's age, he wants to hit the drain. What are you talking about?
well, I usually do. As a matter
You
of
just
fact.
pull up and honk.
Yeah. Yeah. And then next thing you know, Wilton's dries up. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to avoid that as much as I can. You know, I love computers, but sometimes they go to sleep and they don't function. See what's going on?
Kind of like us.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the staff, right?
Fits right in.
We got to call Mary.
Anyway,
Is she calling?
Yeah, I'm gonna call. We're running behind, so let's get into the news.
Oh, okay.
Brought to you by Bob Manning, Vice President, Senior Vice President, Financial Advisor with the Grandview Capital Group. It's Morgan Stanley in Peoria. For all your investment needs, call Bob. He's at 309-671-4653. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC, member SIPC. Here's the news with Terry.
The annual Marigold Festival in Pekin continues today through Sunday. Lots of activities today, including fun at the Carnival in Mineral Springs Park, a tailgate
Go ahead.
party near Circle Drive. It woke up. Anyway, we're going to talk with the festival about the festival, Pekin Mary Burress, very shortly. Peoria Police report the arrest of 34-year-old Jonathan Hudson after a neighbor told officers Hudson had fired a gun at him in the 1000 block of West Thrush early Wednesday evening. The alleged gunman has been charged with aggravated discharge of a firearm, assault with a firearm, unlawful use of a weapon, no FOID card, and criminal damage to property. Illinois State University is reporting an increase in student enrollment this school year. Officials said student population stands at 21,994. That's an increase of 448 more than last year. 19,513 are undergrads. It was a raucous Senate hearing in Washington, D.C. as Health and Human Services Secretary Robert Kennedy Jr. made an appearance. In an unprecedented verbal attack against the 71-year-old cabinet member, Democrats took turns lambasting the former Democrat for everything from his views about vaccines to the firing of Susan Monarez as head of the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. President Trump responded to the false rumors that he had died over the Labor Day weekend. Trump played 2 rounds of golf and prepared for the dinner he hosted at the White House for a number of top tech CEOs, including Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates. Elon Musk was not invited. In world news, the death toll from the earthquake in Afghanistan has now exceeded 2,200 as more bodies have been recovered from the debris. 98% of the buildings and homes in Kanora province have been heavily damaged or destroyed. 8 agencies are calling for staff and supplies, including food. The president of Northwestern University, Michael Schill, has announced he's resigning. His resignation comes as the Trump administration is investigating claims the school failed to protect Jewish students. In making the announcement, Schill said, "I believe now is the right time for new leadership." And finally, another Democrat judge's ruling has been reversed by a federal appeals court. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the 11th Circuit said Florida and immigration officials could resume housing illegal migrants at Alligator Alcatraz. Federal Judge Kathleen Williams, an appointee of President Obama, ordered officials to dismantle its fences, lights, and generators within 60 days. She lost. And those are the headlines, Roger.
All right, thank you, Terry. Advanced Medical Transport, Central Illinois, bringing you the weather this morning. Since 1991, the men and women of AMT have been saving lives with paramedics and emergency medical personnel. Great people. AMT, and no, when seconds count, you can count on Advanced Medical Transport of Central Illinois.
Mostly cloudy and windy today, Roger. High about 66, tonight's low A little nippy 48, but it'll be a great weather for high school football, everybody. Welcome. Tomorrow, sunny and breezy 72. Sunday, it'll be sunny and 71. Monday, sunny and 79. Have you noticed that the trees are already starting to change? You probably noticed that driving in from Wemotuck.
I noticed the leaves falling on
They're already falling, the leaves?
Yeah.
I've seen some color changes. I was driving down to
haven't.
Route 6 towards Chillicothe, and they're starting a little yellowish, and they're starting to change a little bit. Anyway,
That's disheartening.
it's fallish out there, and right
It's
now
what?
it's fallish. Fallish. And right now it's 58 degrees at the wazoo.
And big things are happening over in Pekin, the Marigold Festival. We're delighted to have on the line the mayor of the city of Pekin, Mary Burress. A lot of exciting things happening under her leadership. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, Roger and friends. How's everyone today?
Well, we're able to sit up and take nourishment, and that's a big advancement, especially for me. Well, let's begin with the Marigold Festival. How are things going?
Things are going very well. And first of all, thank you for having me on your show. I really do appreciate it. And over here in Pekin, we're very proud of our Marigold Festival. This year's is called Team Spirit. So it was actually perfect for this year, pulling everybody together, which is what we've been doing the last couple of years, really trying to pull our city together. So it was a perfect title for it. But anyway, we started out Wednesday with our Taste of Pekin. We had all the local restaurants bring out their favorite food and a little talent show. Even though we got poured on, it was a great event. There were hundreds of people down there. So, but it really starts with our parade Saturday. After the parade, it is Art in the Park. And Art in the Park, there are literally hundreds of vendors that have worked all year long on their arts and crafts and things that they want to sell. And there will be thousands of people that go through our park, just thousands. It grows and grows every year. But this year, we have a special show. We are having water skiing. We have a beautiful lagoon right in the center of our park, and they're going to do trick water skiing little skits there. So I'm pretty excited to see that. So that's just the highlights of our festival, and it is a wonderful thing to pull everybody together in our city.
Speaking of pulling people together, what you have done on Court Street is absolutely amazing. I know it was a little tight there for a while due to traffic restrictions and so forth, but Court Street is absolutely beautiful.
Thank you so much. And I tell everybody that, because it's still being worked on a lot, but I tell everybody you have to go through the pain for the gain, and Court Street is looking absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, and one of the big developments that has occurred under your leadership is the reformation, you might say, once was the Bergner's store. You've got Ross and Marshall's soon to open. When's the opening for those two major stores?
Well, we don't have a final date yet, but we are told that Marshall's will be opening in September. So we still don't have a final date on that. And then Ross will follow in October. We thought there was a final date, but they've been moved by a week. So we're just saying September and October. And then, we've got so many other things. Chipotle, we have a final date on them. They are going to be opening the 23rd.
Where are they? Now, where are they going to be?
Chipotle is in the old Bob Evans.
Oh, really? I was wondering that because we used to eat there quite a bit, and then it began dismantling, and I wonder what's going on there. Now I know.
Yes. So it will be opening the 23rd. We have a ribbon cutting there with them.
Wonderful. What else can you tell us that's going on in the city of Pekin?
Oh my goodness, I do have a list here. So, first of all, our Walmart, they put multi-million dollars into renovating them. We're having a ribbon cutting for them on the 26th of September. That's just showing they're giving back to our community. It's wonderful. But we've got, Epic Medical that I spoke to you about previously. They have picked a contractor. They are moving forward, bringing 100 jobs to the city of Pekin. and that is they're making IV bags, so it's in the medical field. We've got ambient fuel. We're under a purchase agreement to sell them 47 acres of green, clean fuel. So, and then Taco Taco. It's a little taco restaurant on Derby it's wonderful. It's family owned, and they just opened. And we have Yasakami, I believe that's how you pronounce it. It is a new ramen grill. Wonderful. Five Below is already open, which is part of the Marshalls and Ross out that way. A little restaurant called, excuse me, Go Vino. Pardon me, called Go Vino. Go Vino is just a darling little restaurant with awesome food. Sangali Steakhouse. I don't know if any of you remember Sangali Steakhouse. It is reopening within a few weeks here. We do have two more retailers that are in the works talking about, but we cannot announce those until maybe next year. So those are just some of the highlights, along with all of our streets being redone. Those are a few of the highlights that are going on.
Yeah. Mary, go ahead and name those things that you're going to have next year. Nobody's listening.
We won't say anything.
We won't say anything. You can go ahead and mention it.
I can't, because they're afraid I will.
Yeah.
Well, Mary, it just goes to show what great leadership can produce over in Pekin. Good morning. It's John Disharoon, and great to hear your voice. And I got to tell you two things. A, I'm so happy that you've got the Amazon warehouse in Pekin, because now I can get my deliveries the very next day, because they do a great job. And second, did I hear you say you're going to do trick skiing on the lagoon that I use a paddle boat on? Is it the same lagoon?
Yes, indeed. Yes, can you believe that? They have been practicing over here on Lake Arlen. I don't know if you guys know, but Lake Arlen is a hidden gem in the city of Pekin. But they have been practicing on the size of the lagoon, and they're actually being pulled by jet skis instead of a boat.
Okay.
And I've been watching them practice. It is really fun. It's going to be fun. A great event.
Yeah.
And there's not a bad seat on the lagoon. You can see everything. Right.
No, heavens no. That's at 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon, so the park will be packed.
That's correct. Wow.
How's attendance? Go ahead.
I was going to say, Roger probably doesn't know this, but just as a nod to your political acuity, Mary was one of the very first supporters of President Trump when he was running. Attending rallies. I remember you and Diane going on road trips and telling everybody, this guy can win, this guy can win. I'm like, Mary, what are you drinking? What are you smoking? You're like, I'm telling you, he can win. And boy, did I have to eat crow, because he did. This goes back to 2014, 2015, leading up to the 2016 election, Roger.
It sure does, yeah. Yeah, you're exactly right. Diane said, let's go on a road trip, and I followed. It was great. And look where he is today.
Yeah, you're exactly right. By the way, I don't know if you remember, the late Paul Powell said, eating crow isn't bad if it's prepared right. So it's okay.
I'm not sure mine was prepared correctly, but I ate it.
Yeah.
I've had to eat some crow myself.
Yeah, I think we all have at one time or another. You have some construction going on in the infrastructure right now in Pekin, don't you?
We sure do, and we're doing it right. We're starting from the sewer lines up instead of just resurfacing, and it's really going to make our city just more beautiful. We do have a $2.88 million grant for Broadway, so that will be starting next year, I believe. And then we're still working on Derby Street. It's part done, so we're working on getting more grant money for that. We've just got so much going on over here, and I couldn't be more proud of where our city manager and his team that he's built around him has taken the city of Pekin.
You mentioned all these restaurants that are there and opening and so forth, but I will tell you one restaurant I don't think you mentioned is my favorite, and I can't even tell you the name of it, but it's just a half a block away from the courthouse, and they serve Sloppy Joe's. And that is one of my favorites, and I eat there quite frequently. You know which one I'm talking about? You can get.
So are you talking about Coffee Connection?
That's it. I believe that's it.
Yeah, they have awesome coffees and frappes to great Sloppy Joe's. It is a darling little place.
It is, and Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I actually, we had a meet and greet with the senators in our area, and we had it there, and they were thrilled over Little Coffee Connection. It's a great little place.
Yeah, and you know, the neat thing about it is not only they have the best sloppy joes, it made me forget Made Right. You're not old enough to remember, but they had a Made Right in Pekin. What's the street?
I am old enough to remember.
Well, what's the name of the street that used to have the arcade building where WSIV was located? What street is that?
That's Capitol. That's
Capitol. Yes, exactly right. And they had a Made Right there, and it was wonderful.
Yeah.
And if you're looking for the best...
Now,
Go ahead.
well, that's now under construction. The county has started. They had groundbreaking the other day, and they've started their new annex to their Justice Center there.
And the best burger in all of Tazewell County can be found at Mackett's Rail House in downtown Pekin.
Yes, you're
McQuetz,
right. Yeah.
it's how
McQuetz.
it's pronounced, and it is wonderful food. And I mean, he's packed all the time. It's great.
Isn't that crazy? I worked with him at Caterpillar before he opened the restaurant, and I called him, you know, Mackwit, I guess, for 10 years, and then he moves to Pekin, opens up his restaurant, it's McQuetz, and I was like, well,
And that's
it's still Dustin, isn't it?
It is Justin, that's right.
Gee, I remember when I worked at WSIV, it was owned by George Udry and Kenny Patterson, and I loved working for them and working at the station. I remember just a half a block away was a drugstore, and I think it also served as a bus station, and next to it, I believe, was the Pekin Theater. Am I remembering right?
You sure are. You sure are. And now the theater's gone, and that's where the Justice Center is, and that's where City Hall is. But you know, you got to have some change, and with progress comes change. So, you know, I'm really proud of where our city's going. Really proud. And I'm so honored that some of the restaurants, like McQuetz, he's been here 10, 12 years.
Right.
Corey's, my goodness, Corey's has been here 20, 25 years. They've just believed in Pekin and they've stayed here. I just love it.
Yeah. Well, under your leadership, things are happening, and it's an exciting place to live and to eat. And we thank you for taking time to visit with us, Mary.
Could we get you to move to Peoria
so much.
and run for mayor?
I'm working on Pekin still. You know, we did purchase that 1,000 acres, which was Ludekin's, and we were just kind of working on it. We were going through the owner itself, but now we are definitely we own it. So it will be annexed into the city of Pekin, and we're under contract to sell 321 acres to a data center, which is amazing. That will bring awesome jobs to Pekin. Awesome. So,
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
No,
I could just go on and on.
Well, that's okay. We've got another hour and a half to go, so we'll give you freedom. Now, here's my next question. And remember, I'm a Peoria guy, but I did work in Pekin at the radio station. What was the name of the dairy that was in Pekin and the family name?
You know, I don't know.
Wasn't there Sodweddle Dairy?
Oh.
Does that ring a bell?
Well, there
Yes, it does.
was Sodweddles in town, a big name in town, but I don't know if they had dairy or not.
I thought they did.
I think that sounds familiar.
Does that sound like it might be right? You know, help
Yeah,
me out
yeah.
because I've been debating whether or not to take that Prevagen, and I need a lot of support as to whether or not I take it or not. Well, I know this. We're talking to Mary Burress, Mayor of Pekin. Congratulations. Happy Marigold Festival Days.
Thank you so much. Come out and join us on Saturday and Sunday.
I'm going to be there 3 o'clock if I can to see that water show on the lagoon. That's going to be fascinating.
It sure will. Thank you so much
You
for
bet.
everything.
Have a great day, Mary.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. Mary Burress, sweetheart. How'd you happen to know Mary?
I just got involved in politics with her and knew her husband, who was the chief of police in Pekin. And, you know, just you meet nice people, you hang on to them.
Yeah. And she's a nice person. She's very nice. Great personality for that matter. What's our temperature?
58-ish?
Are you going with that?
Yeah, depending on what car you're driving.
All right. We have our
What's our crawl stay?
59.
59. Okay,
Yeah.
well, call me a liar. For 1
Okay,
degree.
I won't call you a liar.
10 degrees below 69 on a Friday morning here in Peoria.
We'll be right back. Don't go away.
They are our cuddlers and coworkers, purr machines and love bugs, and constant companions. They are our pets, our family, and they make life so much better. When we face unexpected challenges in life, so do our pets. That's why we're on a mission to support people who love their pets and the pets who love their people, ensuring these families stay exactly where they belong, together. And you have something to offer. With an open heart and mind, there is nothing you can't do. There's no gesture too small or too big when it comes to helping. Whether donating a bag of kibble, sharing an Instagram post of a lost cat, or welcoming a foster pet into your home, every bit of kindness counts. You can help keep pets and people together. Visit petsandpeopletogether.org to learn how to be a helper in your community. This has been a public service announcement brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Well, it was a pleasure talking to Mary, and I kind of like to sneak over to the lagoon and watch that water show.
be interesting.
You know, I don't know if you've been over there lately, but that's not the largest area of water to do a water
How
show.
are you going to do that?
Yeah, very carefully for that
Yes,
matter.
very carefully.
Yeah.
But can you imagine pulling somebody behind jet ski on
jet ski, yeah.
water skis?
I know.
That's,
I know. It's
wow.
Yeah. Well, they could wind up performing on the grass too.
hell yeah.
Depending on.
Dodge the geese.
Hey, we have an important event coming up that we want to share with our audience this morning, Terry.
It's called Out of the Darkness, the Greater Peoria Walk. It is sponsored by the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. It's going to be Saturday, September 27th at the Fond du Lac Park District building in East Peoria. Kickoff is 10 o'clock a.m. Now you can go to their website, afsp.org/Peoria, to register. It doesn't cost you anything to register. They just want you to get your name in there. That is
All right. When is
so
that again?
September 27th. That's Saturday.
Yeah,
So
you know,
save
we
the
still
date.
have to deal with suicide. It's a hard thing. You know, I've known some people who've lost a loved one from suicide just recently, as a matter of fact. The last guy in the world I ever thought would take his own life. But we don't know what's going on in their minds, and it seems a common part of suicide is that the victims do everything they can to hide it. And
Yes, they do.
the question becomes, when did you see any warning, any red flags flying that would indicate that they're considering it?
That's a
And
tough one.
it still stumps everyone to try to figure out how in the world did that happen and why did it happen. And yesterday I was at the Peoria Airport to see our good friend Kathy Reynolds off to South Carolina, where she's doing a concert and visiting with her son Nick and family. That airport is absolutely gorgeous. I remember years ago when it was just a rinky-dinky airport. As a matter of fact, I had a friend that was hired to work as a ticket clerk or whatever, reservationist or whatever. And that was in the days when Ozark Airline was flying out of Peoria. And I don't know how many of you are old enough to remember the rinky-dinky airport that it was. And they hired him to sell tickets and get people on planes and so forth. And his first day on the job, he was working the counter, and the boss came and said, well, the plane just landed. You need to go out there and get the baggage of the people getting off. He said, I thought I was a reservation clerk. Well, he said, you are, but you're also a baggage handler. So he said, now get your you-know-what out and take care of it. So he went out the door, got in his car, and drove away.
Oh, really?
And I don't mind telling you, he wound up in Florida, as a high school women's golf coach and teacher, and was named twice the golf high school girls coach of the year.
Wow.
He found his calling.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
He didn't like,
And it wasn't Ozark
It
Airlines.
wasn't tossing bags.
he didn't like tossing bags.
Did you, in all your years, any of you, did you ever work with somebody that just decided, I quit, and just walk off the job?
I've had people work for me do that.
Really?
Yeah, just see you later, and they were gone. Yeah.
When I was in high school and college, I worked at Shakey's in Peoria.
Oh, what a great place that was.
It was great, and we would get slammed for a bunch of lunch. All you can eat for $3 or whatever it was then, and they just hired 2 new guys, and they got into an argument in the kitchen, and decided to take it outside. And the manager said, "You're done." And I looked around. There were supposed to be 4 people in the kitchen, and he let these 2 guys go. And so there were 2 of us, and he was running the bar. And I've never worked so hard in my life. And I was like, the poor people, we had you bringing up chicken and making pizzas and cutting them, serving the line. And, I was just like, what are you doing? And he's like, yeah, we're not going to work with people like that. We'll make it happen.
Yeah. What do you think led to the demise of Shakey's? Because it was popular. I never heard a bad word about Shakey's at any time.
They were a
when
victim of their
operated.
own success. So the Peoria store was one of the highest grossing restaurants in the Shakey's franchises.
Wow.
Really? On University there?
On University. And the owner, Jim Olson, and his wife, Karen Olson, I think it was, Kojo Pizza of Peoria. They opened one up over in East Peoria, and that did pretty well, but it was being subsidized by the Peoria store. And then they opened one up in Bloomington, and one up in the Quad Cities, and then one down in Springfield. And they, it was the success of a good restaurant is based on your management. And having the right people in there. And he had a great crew in Peoria, and then he took a manager from Peoria and sent him to East Peoria, and a manager from Peoria and sent him to the Quad Cities. And he, kind of lightened the management ability of the Peoria crew, and then just grew. And the Wall Street Journal did a story on how he was able to take this $100 million franchise store, or maybe tens of millions at the time, and expand it and be successful. And he was, closed a year later. He just got too thin. He grew too fast.
Really?
Yeah, and lost it all. He ended up selling real estate, but it was, for a kid working in high school in the first year of college,
Oh, it was
it's a great
wonderful
job
when
because you learn everything. You're not just in the kitchen and doing prep, but we do maintenance in there, and we open the store, close the store, basic accounting, running a till, balancing, change, customer relations, all that stuff that kids don't get these days. And it was a great training ground and a great place to work, and made a lot of lifelong friends there. But yeah, just I think a victim of his own success.
Another restaurant business that went belly up, and never to this day wondered what happened to Howard Johnson. Howard Johnson had 57 varieties of ice cream. I keep thinking, was that Heinz or was that Howard Johnson? And they had a wonderful restaurant on University, on the other side of University, about where Walgreens is now in that area. And
They had one downtown with a hotel.
Yeah,
Mojo.
on North Adams. And you wonder, well, what happened to them? Because it was a clean motel, the food was good, the ice cream was good, and the next thing you know, they're gone.
Caterpillar bought him.
Baskin Robbins, I think.
Caterpillar wanted the property.
Yeah, Cat wanted
On the corner of Washington and Hamilton there.
Yeah, but they didn't buy the one on University.
No, but Baskin Robbins came to town. They only had 31 flavors. And,
And they did a better job
had
of
to keep
marketing it.
Was there a Sambo's in Peoria too? Or
Yes, a long time ago.
wasn't that up there by Hojo on University, or not? Am I thinking
I thought it was over on Sterling. It was.
by the
I don't
family
On
restaurant there?
Sterling, really?
I don't remember that one.
Okay.
Couldn't get away with Sambo's today.
No.
You remember
cannot-
the song, Sambo, Sambo, have you heard? We're going to have,
Can't help you. I don't remember that one.
you don't remember that, huh? Sambo, Sambos, have you heard? We need to do the news, you dirty. No, that wouldn't rhyme.
No.
That would rhyme.
No, I can't do that.
Buck number one.
Yeah, exactly right. Well, we have the news, weather, and sports coming up on Breakfast with Roger and Friends on WAZU FM 90.7 in Peoria, Illinois. The mind is wonderful, but sometimes it runs away from you,
Well,
or
you don't connect
can
it with
get
your
you
mouth.
into trouble for that matter. And also on YouTube, so happy to see everybody. Don't go away. More coming up, including Mr. Weather will be here, and he'll say, "Good morning, everybody." Kyle Barnes.
Brighten it up a little.
Happy Friday, everybody. It is Friday, the 5th day of September. Welcome to Breakfast with Roger and Friends. We begin with a check of the weather, a presentation of your hometown community banks. Division of Merton Community Bank, employee-owned, locally operated. You can still choose a hometown bank at hometownbanks.com, member FDIC.
And wonderful hometown weather. Mostly cloudy and windy today, high 66. Tonight, it's a low and kind of a nippy 48, but it'll be great for watching those high school football games tonight. Tomorrow, sunny and a breezy 72. Sunday, sunny and 71. Monday, sunny and 79. Right now, it's 59 at the Wazoo.
And now we have the news brought to you by Matt Wall, CPA with Gordon Stockman Wall. For more than 40 years, Matt has been handling tax returns and other financial matters for individuals and businesses. His phone number 309-692-4030. Terry, you have the lead story this morning.
I do. The annual Marigold Festival in Pekin continues today through Sunday. Lots of activities today, including fun at the carnival in Mineral Springs Park, a tailgate party near Circle Drive in Pekin High School, and more. We talked with Pekin Mayor Mary Burress earlier this morning, and she said they're actually going to do jet skis on the lagoon in the Mineral Park. That'll be something to see.
That will be something to see. You're right.
You're going to participate, right, Roger? They're going to drag you around, I think, is what I heard.
No, they aren't.
No, okay.
I'll be taking a nap. No, I'm going to try to go there. That sounds like a fun thing. Probably have to park at the Pekin
hospital.
High School.
Yeah.
Maybe the hospital too. They may wind up taking some of the participants there.
The police report that they arrested 34-year-old Jonathan Hudson after a neighbor told officers that Hudson fired a gun at him in the 1000 block of West Thrush early Wednesday evening. The alleged gunman has been charged with aggravated discharge of a firearm, assault with a firearm, unlawful use of a weapon, and no FOID card, and criminal damage to property. So it'll be a while. He'll be there.
You know, if he had a FOID card, he still would have been arrested.
Yeah,
or
still
do you
can.
flash it and say, no, see, I've got a card, I'm able to
No, all those things he
shoot.
did was
Okay.
still wrong.
Still
but,
okay.
He'll be out by noon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if not sooner.
well, he's already bought another gun by now.
Yeah.
Illinois State University is reporting an increase in student enrollment this school year. Officials said student population stands at 21,994. That's an increase of 448 more than last year. 19,513 are undergrads.
It was a raucous Senate hearing in Washington, D.C., as Health and Human Services Secretary Robert Kennedy Jr. made an appearance. In an almost unprecedented verbal attack against a 71-year-old Trump cabinet member, Democrats took turns lambasting the former Democrat for everything from his views about the vaccines to the firing of Susan Monarez as head of the Center for Disease Control and Prevention after only 3 months on his job. They just went after the guy. It was unbelievable.
The rhetoric was vicious and sometimes repugnant. No subject was off limits for the attacks, including the mass shootings in Minneapolis. I don't quite see how that has anything to do with vaccines, but, you know, Democrat after Democrat hammered Kennedy, with many calling for his resignation or firing. Even some Republicans, like Bill Cassidy of Louisiana and Tom Tillis of North Carolina, also challenged the controversial Kennedy. President Trump is standing firm in his support for the Health and Human Services Secretary, saying more needs to be done to ensure the safety of the drugs we're taking and the food we're eating.
President Trump responded to the false rumors that he had died over Labor Day weekend. He basically said, I'm not dead. Trump played 2 rounds of golf and prepared for dinner that he's hosted at the White House for a number of top-notch CEOs, including Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook fame, and Bill Gates, the Microsoft guy. Elon Musk was not invited.
Oh.
Yes. In world news, the death toll from the earthquake in Afghanistan has now exceeded 2,200 as more bodies have been recovered from the debris. 98% of the buildings and homes in Kanawha province have been heavily damaged or destroyed. Aid agencies are calling for staff and supplies, including food.
The president of Northwestern University, Michael Schill, has announced he's resigning. His resignation comes as the Trump administration is investigating claims the school failed to protect Jewish students. In making the announcement, Schill said, I believe now is the time for new leadership. He's not going far, though. He'll return to teach and conduct research at the Northwestern Pritzker School of Law.
Another Democrat judge's ruling has been reversed by a federal appeals court. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the 11th Circuit said Florida and immigration officials could resume housing illegal migrants at Alligator Alcatraz. Federal Judge Kathleen Williams, an appointee of President Obama, ordered officials to dismantle its fences, lights, and generators within 60 days. She lost. And that's the news, Roger.
You know, it raises a question about why are so many schools and school presidents and school university officials so hesitant to protect Jewish students? I don't understand that at all, and it should be off for all students.
I don't know what to do.
And it's almost like a disease. I mean, here we have Northwestern under very intelligent, highly rated academic university in the country, and they're being accused. Apparently, complaints have been made. Jewish students are at risk on the campus of Northwestern University. That's one of the reasons this guy resigned. Hey, I'm out of here.
Yeah, I mean, why don't they just support protection for all students?
Right.
I mean, it's like the Democrats falling on their sword over illegal aliens, going out of the country and supporting people that have been, kicked out for being here illegally. I mean, can't you support a citizen? What are we?
Well, you're missing the boat. This guy, Abrigo Garcia, is a Maryland father.
So?
Yeah, he's a bad guy.
But the fact that he's an M13 gang member and he beat his wife up a couple of times
and was here illegally,
that shouldn't mean anything.
And he snuck into the country. I mean, but he's a Maryland father.
He's a father.
According to ABC.
I just don't get it.
I don't either. Are we editorializing a little too much?
No,
no, not too much.
I didn't think so either. If we did.
Charlie Daniels had it right.
Yeah.
I'm just
Now we'll get the other side of the coin with WCBU.
From the WCBU Newsroom, I'm Courtney Conroy. East Peoria's new downtown open green space is ready for the public after 10 years in the making. Community leaders held a soft opening and ribbon cutting for Levy Park this week. East Peoria Community Foundation President Sue Porcheller says they hope the space adjacent to City Hall will become a popular attraction.
I think it's going to be a draw, just a natural draw for people to come down here, stop here, take pictures here, bring lunch over. Moms can let their toddlers play in the splash pad and they can sit right, on the edge.
The $3 million park was funded entirely through state grants and community donations. Tazewell County prosecutors are seeking to keep a 93-year-old Pekin man accused of killing his wife in custody until his trial begins. James Pate is charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder and the death of 80-year-old Cheryl Pate. He allegedly cut her throat Tuesday during the course of an argument. Peoria County Coroner Jamie Harwood says an autopsy shows Cheryl Pate suffered multiple sharp force injuries. Year-to-date crime statistics from the Peoria Police Department show less than half as many shooting murders compared to last year. 4 of the city's 8 homicides through the end of August were by gunshot. In the first 8 months of 2024, Peoria had 8 fatal shootings out of 10 murders. Compared to 2 years ago, total homicides are down nearly 60%. The statistics show total shooting incidents have dropped by 23% in the past year, and almost 900 fewer rounds have been fired. And the Prairieland Punishers Roller Derby say the close relationships they've built with their teammates are a big reason why they love the sport. By day, 57-year-old Goldie Rocks from Pekin works for the Postal Service. But when she puts on her skates and helmet, Goldie Rocks becomes a dominant blocker charged with stopping the other team from scoring.
And I have met so many different people from so many different backgrounds and so many different lifestyles that it really has changed my viewpoints and my thoughts on just people in general.
The Prairieland Punishers compete in a doubleheader Saturday night at the Interstate Center in Bloomington. I'm Courtney Conroy, WCBU News.
All right, let's get into sports with John Bisharoon. Good morning, Johnny.
Top of the morning to you, Roger and friends. How are we doing today?
Oh, we're wonderful. Having so much fun.
It's 8:10, 50 minutes before the hour of 9 o'clock. And in sports last night, Amanda Anisimova battled from a set down to beat Naomi Osaka in a thrilling U.S. Open semifinal to reach her second Grand Slam final in a row. The 8th-seeded Anisimova won 6-7, 7-6, 6-3, and will face number 1-seeded Aryna Sabalenka in Saturday's final at Flushing Meadows. Sabalenka defeated number 4 Jessica Pegula, she's an American, 4-6, 6-3, 6-4 in an outstanding match in the semifinals earlier last night in a rematch of last year's final. She moved one victory away from becoming the first woman to claim consecutive championships at Flushing Meadows since Serena Williams got 3 in a row from 2012 to 2014. Anisimova's elimination of the number 23 Osaka came in a match that ended at nearly 1 a.m. this morning. She wasn't sure if she could make it past the finish line and dug deep to get there, said Anisimova, who needed 3 match points to get the job done. It was a huge fight out there today, but it was fun to watch the tennis. In Major League Baseball, Kyle Teel hit a 3-run home run. Colson Montgomery homered and drove in 3, and the Chicago White Sox beat the Minnesota Twins 11-8 on Thursday night. So, Dr. Gene, your White Sox are on a roll. Chase Medroth had 4 hits as the White Sox came back from 3 runs down for the second consecutive night against Minnesota to win their season-high 5th straight game. Teel and Edgar Quero each had 3 hits. Wickelman Gonzalez struck out 2 and allowed no hits in 1 1/3 innings to earn his first career win in relief. Frazier Ellard was the opener for Chicago, throwing 1 1/3 innings, and he had 2 hits, gave up 2 hits and 2 strikeouts. And Luke Keschall had 4 hits and 2 runs scored for the Twins. Mickey Gasper had 3 RBI. Matt Wallner, Cody Clemens homered. Travis Adams allowed 3 hits and 4 runs in 1 inning of relief for Minnesota, which is 3-7 in its last 10 games. Over in Pittsburgh, Paul Skeens pitched 6 scoreless innings and earned his 10th win of the season. And the Pittsburgh Pirates beat the National League West leading Los Angeles Dodgers 5-3 on Thursday night to complete a 3-game series sweep by the worst team in baseball beating the best team in baseball. Skeens, 10-9, allowed 2 hits, struck out 8, and walked 1. The right-hander finally got his record above 500 for the first time this season and lowered his ERA to a Major League best 1.98. Skeens, last season's National League Rookie of the Year, who was 4-8 this season for the Last Place Pirates, has won 6 of his last 7 decisions. The Dodgers were held to 5 hits and had their lead cut to 2 games over idle San Diego. Mookie Betts broke up the Pirates' shutout bid with a leadoff home run in the 9th inning, and RBI singles by Pedro Pages and Miguel Rosas cut the deficit to 5-3. However, Colin Hedelman struck out Ben Rotvet to end it for his first save of the season. In other Major League action, the Phillies beat the Brewers 2-0. The Rays over the Guardians 4-2. The Royals 4-3 over the Angels, and the Yankees crushed the Astros 8-4. And the lead story of last night was the kickoff of Major League Football, National League Football. Jalen Hurts shrugged on a TD celebration and did his best to be just like Mike. That's Mike Jordan, world's best athlete ever. Through spit and rain, a ceremony, and a setback, Hurts and the Super Bowl champion Eagles weathered the storm and showed why they're again the favorite to hoist a second straight Green Bay Packer trophy. You might recall that as a Lombardi trophy.
The Lombardi trophy, yes, sir.
But we're going to talk about the Packers. Hurts rushed for 2 touchdowns for the Eagles, who lost hot-tempered star defender Jalen Carter early for spitting on Dak Prescott. This is literally 6 seconds into the game. Then they withstood a rare weather delay, call it lightning, and needed a late stop to beat the Dallas Cowboys 24-20 early this morning in a wild start to the NFL season. With one last chance at a comeback, Prescott threw an incomplete pass on 4th and 3 with a minute 54 left to send what was left of a thinned-out crowd home in a frenzy. The game ended at 12:18 a.m., and it was delayed for, like, I think an hour and 10 minutes due to lightning. And, you know, part of the changes to the National Football League this year, a bunch of rule changes. The kickoff has changed. Hoping to get a much higher return rate. The competition committee worked to make overtime more fair, employ technology to support the on-ice officials, and warned players that it will be vigilant in disciplining them for violations of the league's sportsmanship rules, which was in evidence last night when they not only called a personal foul, but kicked him out of the game for spitting on the opposing team's quarterback. And after months of debate, the league decided that the Eagles' tush push short yardage play would remain legal for at least one more season. The proposal to ban that fell by 2 votes. It was 2 votes shy of passing. So, you know, I don't know if you watched the game last night, but there was 6 seconds into the game, there was an injury timeout. A player was down. And this Jalen Carter, walked across the line of scrimmage towards the Jalen Hurts, the quarterback, and evidently thought as Hurts was spitting on the ground that it came at him, and he got right up in his face and spit on him. Yeah. So he's on the wrong side of the ball. I mean, this guy is arguably one of the best defensive players in the league. Oh, yeah. And, you can't help your team from the locker room. And I imagine, according to the people that actually follow this stuff, he'll likely be suspended for a game and have a significant fine, too. So, if you can't control your emotions on the field, you can't help your team off the field.
Well said. Thank you, Grantland Rice.
And that's the sports report for this morning.
All right, our travel advisor is on the line and is going to give us an update on where he's been and what he's doing. Dr. Gene Sidler. Good morning, Gene.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Wonderful. Where are you right now as we speak?
Well, we're in the High Rocky Mountains in Colorado, but I'll be back tonight on a flight. So
you think?
Yeah, we will. But yeah, it's been a good 2 weeks get away and great weather out here.
Yeah. What's the temperature right now as we speak?
The temperature right now, I think, is in the 50s.
Same as here.
Same as here.
It's in the 40s. It's in the low 40s right now, about 43 where we are.
Yeah. Did you get some skiing in?
But it warms up. It warms up quickly once the sun comes up.
Yeah. Are you high enough where you can tell that the oxygen level is a little different?
Yes.
And it took you a while to adjust?
I don't believe I have even adjusted yet. Yeah, we've been at 10 to 12,000 feet elevation most of the time that we've been here, and yes, you do notice it. You adjust a little bit with a bit of time, but it's never enough time to get fully adjusted.
What's been the highlight of your trip out west?
Wow.
The highlight. Well, I mean, it's just all been very pleasant. Though we've been just touring around the high Rocky Mountain trails, and we were. Let's see. Yesterday we were up at a pass called Guanella Pass, which is a beautiful scenic view. We were at Independence Pass. That's the highest paved highway pass in the state. In fact, in North America. And you just get tremendous, beautiful views from all of these mountain roads and passes.
Yeah, you're around Breckenridge. How about Keystone? Anywhere near Keystone?
Yeah, Breckenridge is actually fairly close to Keystone, and they're both very nice. We did go up to Keystone on one occasion. They had a food fair going on there. They tend to, summertime is a slow time for these ski resorts, although they try to have events throughout the summer that draw people in, and it's a beautiful place as well.
Did you have any chance to, because they were interviewing the Health and Human Services Director, Robert Kennedy Jr., Did you have any chance to watch the hearings? And if you did, what are your observations?
Well, no, we didn't. I didn't actually see any of it live, but on social media, on X.com, you're able to see a lot of the interactions and the highlights of that hearing. And so, yeah, I did get to see, I think, a good portion of it, most of what made the news. And my impression is that his viewpoints and those of some of the senators aren't quite the same. And,
yeah, I think that's an excellent analysis.
It led to what the impression that I think most reasonable people would have, having watched much of that interaction, was that it was a tool for some of the senators to try to score points, to attack him, to attack the administration, and to get some video shots that might go viral that they feel might benefit them maybe in their next election.
Yeah.
But that's just my opinion.
Yeah. What about vaccines? Has some of his thoughts about vaccines? He's not totally opposed to vaccines,
No.
as I
No,
understand.
he's not, and that that's what caused some of that back and forth was that they tried to frame him as anti-vaccine, and he's really never been totally anti-vaccine. He just wants transparency and proper studying to be done on vaccines, the same way that we insist and have laws that require it be done on new medications. But many of the vaccines that are available and in fact now enforced in scheduling to be given to children, sometimes as young as at birth. Now the CDC's recommendation for the hepatitis B vaccine is to get the first dose at birth. Now that one, hepatitis B is only transmitted through body fluids, and there are the only cases ever in children in their first year of life are perhaps maybe being born to a mother who's positive for the virus. That's easy to test for. In fact, it's actually routinely done on every live birth in a hospital in the U.S. So, maybe you could point to a small, tiny fraction of births that might benefit from a vaccine, but it's just insane to be giving this vaccine to children at birth. And his contention is that these have not been done in double-blind studies. And that's one example. The hepatitis B vaccine was developed back in the 1980s, and it's been used since then, but it's really never been tested in the way that we insist, again, that medications be tested before they're used on the public. And so where the attacks on his anti-vaccine status come from is that his insistence that we just do the proper studies and we release the results so that there's openness and transparency on what's found. He is a believer that there's a lot more side effects to these vaccines than we are ever being told about, and that they may not be as effective as we're being told. And of course, we all went through the COVID pandemic when we were told that the COVID vaccine would prevent you from getting the disease, it would prevent you from spreading it, and it didn't do either of those things. It may have been very effective in saving lives initially against the early strain of the COVID virus. That was the strain that the vaccine initially was formulated against, but it became less and less effective over time, and yet they were still insisting that it be given, and people lost their jobs, they were kicked out of the military, were prevented from playing sports and earning a living, all because of not wanting to take that vaccine, when in fact many of the claims, as we know now, were completely wrong.
And people died.
Well, we've talked about this before, that about a year and a half into the pandemic, studies started to show that more people were dying who had the vaccine, more people were getting COVID who had the vaccine, and more people were dying from it who had the vaccine than those who did not. And that was even true if you adjusted for the population difference of who got it and who didn't get it. But that was really never talked about. The previous administration just buried that kind of information and findings.
Yeah, and buried the information. And there still have not been clinical trials of the vaccine for COVID-19.
Well, again, yes, not the kind that would be expected and required for medications, the true double-blind kinds of studies that are carried out. And of course, we all recall that the Operation Warp Speed did develop a vaccine in record time. It was this new technology, this mRNA vaccine technology. It was tested for a little over 9 months and did show positive results. And that's the kind of study that was done. Now, we're seeing late-term side effects, these chronic disease problems that he was talking about yesterday. We're seeing an explosion in incidences of what we call autoimmune diseases, and there could be a connection. We can't say with a certainty either way, but it certainly is suspicious that something like this, that is a new technology that is working on our immune system, and suddenly we see an explosion in incidences of these new autoimmune diseases. There has to be more study done, and we have to stop some of the mandates and requirements of giving vaccines until we know those results.
And the crazy thing is almost everything that Rand Paul argued with Dr. Fauci about, he was right about. And what's Fauci get? A pardon.
Yeah.
Well, yes, yeah. He had a lot of things right, and a lot of doctors did. Again, they attacked Kennedy yesterday over his association with Dr. Robert Malone. He was one of the developers of the mRNA technology, but he was also one of the early critics of the way that it was rolled out and required and pushed on people and mandated. And again, it turns out that he appears that he was probably right about everything he came out with.
All right, good information as always from Dr. Gene Sidler. Are you in a cabin right now at the top of Breckenridge?
Yeah. It's a relatively small cabin-like place up in the mountains, and again, we'll be leaving here shortly and heading into Denver because our flight is today, and returning back to good old Peoria. But one last day up here in the mountains.
Hey Doc, look, you've taken quite a bit of time off from the wazoo here. And I guess that was okay with personnel.
Yes, it was.
With HR.
I did. I got it.
But okay. I'm wondering, I'm sure you didn't take that amount of time off from BradleyFans.com. What's going on over there?
Yeah, fortunately, we chose cabins that had Wi-Fi.
Well, of course you did.
Part-time.
Howard Johnson cabin.
So we could stay on top of the Bradley basketball news.
Good.
Right now, there's not a lot of Bradley news because it's the off-season and preseason, and but still, there's always something happening.
Yeah, on top of Old Smoky. Yeah. For that matter. Have you seen any Indians?
Or bears.
No.
Bears? There's bears.
Any animals.
You keep a lookout for things like bears and other wildlife. We have not seen any bears. We've seen deer and some other animals up here. Yeah.
Any Packers?
No bears.
Seen any Packers in the Colorado area?
I'm hoping that the Bears can take care of the Packers.
Yeah. By the way,
keep dreaming. Keep dreaming.
Ending on a high note. The White Sox playing good baseball so far.
Yeah, hey, they just swept a 4-game series from the Twins. They won 5 in a row, and we don't get to see and listen too much, but I can check the results, and finally playing a little bit better. They got a lot of really young players. They are the youngest team in the major leagues, and so they will develop and get better over the next couple of years, and definitely are better than last year's team. Yeah.
Well, out of all the comments coming in on Roger's YouTube streaming device here, it's like, can we get our regular sports guy back on Thursdays and Fridays? So,
wait a minute, I didn't see that.
I'm deleting them as they come in, by the way.
I'm writing them as quick as I can.
So, Gene, you've been missed.
No, you did a great job this morning, and the other guys through the week and last week.
Hey, the weatherman's here.
The weatherman's here. All right, thanks, Gene. Have a safe trip back, and we'll talk to you over the weekend.
All right, see you next week.
You
everybody.
bet.
Hope you make it in, buddy.
Dr. Gene Sidler, and
he
let's
wasn't
get into
far.
the news and the weather.
Frost warning, frost warning, frost warning.
Maybe in Wicked Ridge, or Breckenridge, whatever. All right, let's start with the check of the news, brought to you by Realtor Kathy Reynolds, Brilliant Real Estate. She's available to help you buy and or sell your home. Kathy Reynolds can be reached at 309-696-2162. Now the news.
The annual Marigold Festival in Pekin continues today through Sunday. Lots of activities today, including fun at the carnival in Mineral Springs Park with jet skis pulling skiers, a tailgate party near Circle Drive, and Pekin High School, and more. Peoria Police report the arrest of 34-year-old Jonathan Hudson after a neighbor told officers Hudson had fired a gun at him in the 1000 block of West Thrush early Wednesday evening. The alleged gunman has been charged with aggravated discharge of a firearm, assault with a firearm, unlawful use of a weapon, no FOID card, and criminal damage to property. Illinois State University is reporting an increase in student enrollment this school year. Officials said student population stands at 21,994. That's an increase of 448 more than last year. 19,513 are undergrads. There was a raucous Senate hearing in Washington, D.C. as Health and Human Services Secretary Robert Kennedy Jr. made an appearance. In an unprecedented verbal attack against a 71-year-old cabinet member, Democrats took turns lambasting the former Democrat for everything from his views about vaccines to the firing of Susan Monarez as head of the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. President Trump responded to the false rumors that he had died over Labor Day weekend. Trump played 2 rounds of golf and prepared for the dinner he hosted at the White House for a number of top tech CEOs, including Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates. Elon Musk was not invited. In world news, the death toll from the earthquake in Afghanistan has now exceeded 2,200, as more bodies have been recovered from the debris. 98% of the buildings and homes in Kunar province have been heavily damaged or destroyed. Aid agencies are calling for staff and supplies, including food. The president of Northwestern University, Michael Schill, has announced he's resigning. His resignation comes as the Trump administration is investigating claims the school failed to protect Jewish students. In making the announcement, Schill said, "I believe now is the right time for new leadership." Another Democrat judge's ruling has been reversed by a federal appeals court. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the 11th Circuit said Florida and immigration officials could resume housing illegal migrants at Alligator Alcatraz. Federal Judge Kathleen Williams, an appointee of President Obama, ordered officials to dismantle its fences, lights, and generators within 60 days. She lost. And those are the headlines, Roger.
All right, now we're going to talk weather on our program this morning, brought to you by Spoon River Home Health, bridging the gap in health care since 1993. Spoon River Home Health has been caring for people of all ages in their homes where recovery and healing faster and more comfortable. Learn more from Spoon River. They're great folks in Farmington at 309-245-0723. They're in Fulton County, but they cover all central Illinois counties for that matter. And you want to give us some of the highlights since Mr. Weather is here?
Let's do it, Mr.
See
Crowley.
See how accurate we are?
Here's the weather I have.
Oh,
soon
boy.
To be fact checked by Kyle Varnell.
Fantastic. I'm so excited.
Mostly cloudy
Oh, that's terrible.
and windy today.
You really need a window in the studio. There's nary a cloud in the sky currently. It's been sunny all morning.
So a beautiful cloudless morning.
Yeah. Boy, we really need a new
Well,
studio.
I've been
I'll
asking
tell you
for
what.
windows since
I tell you what, even windows wouldn't do you any good
Well,
because we're in the center of a building.
but on the other hand, we're getting it from the National Weather Bureau. Why should we need a window? They're supposed to be accurate.
Why are they telling
And
me?
since you know that,
I have to ask you,
Yeah.
and I don't mean disrespectfully, but when do you actually type this weather report? At what time in the morning do you type it?
I type it
check
at night and then
At
check
9:30 at night, the
in-
night before.
and check it
we check
at
it.
5:45 every
5:45.
freaking morning.
At
Okay,
5:45 in the
come
freaking
in
morning.
here and insult
I'm
me.
not trying to insult you. I'm
breaking
just
news.
saying
You're
weather
trying
is
to
actively
defend
changing.
the National Weather Bureau.
I will
Since-
defend the National
since
Weather
we're-
Bureau.
They were so wrong. And by the way, since we're talking about
You're very red here.
yeah, well, you come in and you insult people.
I don't mean to insult you. I'm just take your blood
You know-
pressure medication. Let's go to weather.com.
Well,
Let's see what the
you ought to
surface
change
report
your
is.
personality because
God bless you.
You can't take any criticism. How about all the rain we got? You said we weren't going to get.
What rain did you get? What was the total precipitation amount? Would you please enlighten me to that?
Tremont had thunderstorms and
what was the
lightning, heavy
precipitation?
rain. Yeah,
And what was the precipitation? What was the precipitation?
rain.
What was the measurable precipitation?
3.5 inches.
Okay, that is an anomaly. But yeah. No, I got 0.24 inches of rain in my gauge. It lasted for half an hour on
said
Wednesday.
we weren't going to get any rain. You
I said
it was north.
no
You kept
thunderstorms.
saying
We
north.
can play back the
No,
video
we
or
will.
the recording.
Just let
Go to
me finish the
mixcloud.com and let's.
weather.
Oh yeah, I'm
Let
sorry.
me
I'm sorry.
finish the weather.
Go. Let's continue, please.
This is elder abuse.
Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
Kyle,
That's
I
a
apologize.
That's a commonality with the
apologize.
guy.
Kyle, you can
You
get
know, I'm
arrested.
91 years of age. I work my ass off.
All
and
these
he comes
years.
in and he insults
I'm
me
not insulting
every
you.
Friday morning.
I'm just. That's
And you keep
accurate.
asking him back.
He
What do
keeps
you call
asking
that,
back.
masochism?
Well, I pay him to be here, so
That's like
probably why.
catechism.
Oh,
It's a Catholic
I was going to
weatherman.
leave early today.
It's okay. Let's continue, please.
I'm missing Grandparent Day
Oh no!
to be.
Oh, he needs to leave.
Anyway,
It's okay. Let's
high
continue the weather.
66 today. Don't. All this is going to be right from here on. Tonight's low is a nippy 48,
Lower.
46,
Lower.
42.
44.
Question for the panel.
Yes, sir.
Derivation of nippy.
Derivation of nippy.
I don't think we can say that on the radio, can we?
I would say
Can we still say-
crisp.
Can we say nippy?
Crisp. Let's go with crisp.
That's a good word. I would buy that.
Thank you, sir. I'm glad we
nippy.
agree.
We'll do
Yeah.
crisp.
We
Mutual.
found
Okay.
something to agree on.
Well,
Tomorrow,
aside from politics, yes.
tomorrow, sunny and breezy.
Yeah, very. It's going to be breezy today once that cold front comes through.
Okay.
It'll be a dry cold front
It
too.
blew
by
all
the
the
way.
clouds away. Okay, sunny
all
and
the clouds
breezy.
away.
72 today.
Tomorrow,
I'm sorry, tomorrow.
70.
Oh, call me a liar for 2
No, it's
degrees.
no.
My
The northwest
God.
winds will really keep the temperatures down,
All
especially
right,
the drier
Sunday,
air. Sorry,
Sunday
I'll
sunny
continue.
and 71.
Yeah, I think that's accurate.
All right, Monday, sunny and 79.
Yes.
Could be a little bit warmer.
Yep.
Currently, I don't
Which
know.
we talked about.
Currently, I'm going to say 59 and a half.
No. 62. Currently, what is it? What do you show, Roger?
59.
Currently, oh, it is 59 and a half. How do you get the half? It's okay.
Well, I mean, it's got to be.
digital
if
scale.
you've got 60, you got to be. There's a 59 and
Well,
a half.
oh, Roger's updating the weather forecast. Who did we go to? Forecast.weather.gov.
Ooh,
Okay,
59
National Weather
degrees.
Service. God bless you. All right, that's good. That's good. And winds are west out of the 8. The winds will increase. We have a dry cold front coming through. It's associated with a pretty impressive vertically stacked low up over Ontario currently, and it's bringing this really almost Arctic air, especially in the mid-levels of the atmosphere, which will eventually filter down at the surface, especially overnight into tomorrow. And accompanied with that, especially on the backside of that frontal boundary, are pretty brisk northwest winds. So it's actually going to be a chilly night for football on Friday Night Lights.
Well, that's what it's
for the
supposed to
kickoff.
be. That's all. Part
Absolutely.
Of the deal.
No, but this weather, I would say, is more October-like than September-like. Now, next
sure it
weekend,
is.
which we talked on Tuesday, and you can call me on it, I did dismiss the thunderstorm
So
chances.
I'm never going to say anything.
No, I want you to say. I think the verbal engagement is very enlightening, and we're very respectful to each other, unlike what we saw on Capitol Hill yesterday.
That's called verbal engagement. I thought that's called a
Secretary Kennedy. This isn't elder abuse. This is we're challenging each other.
I thought that for a while you were Bernie Sanders.
I am not Bernie Sanders, and you might be Elizabeth Warren, but I will not be Bernie Sanders.
Oh, no, I'm not going to be Elizabeth.
No, I wouldn't be her either.
He looks
Do you have
terrible
Indian
in that
heritage?
dress.
Yeah.
All right,
That
Pocahontas,
was,
let's
yeah.
continue. Anyways,
Okay.
so we have this cold air that's filtered in, and will continue to filter in over the weekend, but we also have what's really interesting atmospherically when we look at the surface analysis is we have a trough, this warm ridge that's going to be building, and we'll start to see winds shift out of the southwest probably Monday night into Tuesday of next week. And then we warm back up to temperatures above normal come next weekend. So we talked about it on Tuesday
It's
when
going to be
I
hot
called in on
next
the radio
weekend?
show.
What's it going to be, 80s again?
Yeah, it'll be maybe
Wow.
upper 80s.
Yeah, for the Pumpkin
and with
Festival.
the southwest winds,
Wow.
yeah. So it's going to be a really great weekend for the Marigold Festival and Mayor Mary Burress and all the wonderful things they do in the community of Pekin.
Yeah.
But for the Pumpkin Festival, it's going to be very warm and a bit steamy.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah, but it will continue to remain dry. Unfortunately, our dry spell continues, which is kind of fortunate because I was talking to my dad a couple nights ago, and for the farmers right now, you know, we're just gearing up for harvest. The dry air actually helps because usually when we pick the corn, we harvest the corn, there's a little bit of moisture on it that we have to put it in a corn dryer.
Yeah.
And energy
And that
costs
costs money.
skyrocketed quite
Yeah.
considerably.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
To dry the corn,
So
yeah.
Mother Nature is drying the corn for us right now. So this drought, as detrimental as it might be for some, is quite beneficial for local farmers. So we're very, very grateful for what's currently taking place.
I think your father probably told you the crop looks pretty good.
Oh yeah, very much so. Yields are very good. Unfortunately, yields are very good all over the Midwest, which brings down the market
Means the
price.
price drops down.
Brings down the
You know,
market
it's
price.
amazing. It's almost a contradiction. Is that when the crop is good, the yield is good, the price goes down. When it's lousy, the price goes up. So you don't know who to root for. Let's hear it. Bad news for the farmer's crop, which is good news.
It's supply and demand. We have a bountiful harvest. Unfortunately, costs have gone up, and then that's the thing. So our benefit is the drying process, the natural drying process taking place in the fields. And you know, we look at the last 2 weeks of precipitation. A very meager, less than a half inch of rain has fallen in our area in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So we have to go all the way back to was August 15th. Was our last really measurable precipitation where we had a pretty impressive Sunday morning full of heavy thunderstorms where we kind of caught up. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Terry's nodding. She remembers this.
Because it tied into the sermon so well. It was so funny because we have beautiful stained glass windows.
Yeah.
So normally on a Sunday, they're real pretty, the lights are shining through, and it got real dark. And then Stuart's doing his sermon, and we were talking about Revelation and the throne, and there's thunder and lightning, and just about that time, big clap of thunder.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's like, see, it was
Absolutely.
It was amazing.
It was
yes.
a perfect timing. No, it was really impressive, that rainfall, but
Yep.
we really haven't seen any substantial rainfall since, unfortunately. And again, to the farmer's benefit, we're now getting so close to harvest, the drying process is taking place, so we don't have to put the corn in the dryers and spend an inordinate amount of money on the energy bills.
That's
so
good.
It's all good, really.
I don't know how farmers do it, to tell you the truth. I don't know of a job that
Biggest
is
gamblers
riskier.
everywhere.
Yeah,
And that's
everything.
including sports
They
bettors.
not only
Yeah.
have to know how to plant, and they've got to become astute at business.
Very much so.
Yeah,
Yeah, my
And
dad
that's
is a
one of the
business
reasons
major.
why I like John Cross is a graduate of Illinois State University. So obviously he took some courses on business.
My dad is an ag business major from U of I. So
Yeah,
he graduated from U of I.
All right, let's look at the weather now for this distinguished panel. Can you explain something? There's a big headline. Google to pay $425 million after years of improper spying on smartphone activity. How many people have a smartphone?
I do, without a Google.
Yeah. Well, here's my question. They get fined $425 million.
Where's the money?
Who gets the money?
I'll take some of
Well,
it.
it's a class action lawsuit,
But
so
who
it'll
gets
be
the money?
in about 3 years. You'll see $60. If you
You'll
have a
see
Google phone.
you'll see $1.38.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It'll come off your bill or something.
Well, 425 million. That's a lot.
But you don't have to have a Google phone if you have Gmail
Okay.
or Google Browser.
Oh, any of the Google
They're
stuff?
doing it.
Oh,
So if
fantastic.
anybody's
Here,
ever
this
been
microphone
surprised,
stuff you got to talk right into the middle.
Oh, I'm going to apply for this one.
if anybody ever has had a
you.
conversation with somebody and then you turn on your phone and you start getting ads, so it can be a random conversation
sure.
like, "Oh, I need new tires," and suddenly you're getting Firestone Goodyear ads, or something even more remote. Honey, was that a bear in the road last night?
you know, beware of bear whistlers that you can put on your front bumper.
That's how invasive they are.
Yeah, I mean, they're listening to everything.
They're listening to everything. Do you have one of those in your home? What's that, Alexa?
Alexa or
Do you have those in your home?
No, it's unplugged.
Okay, because they listen
Yeah, I know.
All the time.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I got several ads for Mylanta.
You must have been. Oh, look, it must have been.
I don't even know what that is.
Must have been noisy in your place.
Yeah, you don't need to.
Well, yesterday when Terry went home, he started getting
It's called Mylanta.
Dogs R Us and Cocker Spaniel ads.
I got a lot Cocker Spaniel breeding.
I think every home today has a listening device.
Yeah, my wife.
I think not many didn't listen. It was the other way around. You know, what was it?
Now I get what he's saying.
Roy said he and his wife had words last night, and he said, unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to use any of mine.
Just use mine.
But, you know, it says on this story,
Yeah.
98 million users over an 8-year period.
So divide
So 98 million are going to split
425
425
million.
after
The
the
lawyer gets that
attorneys.
And the lawyer gets
theirs.
40%.
Yeah.
That lawyer gets that.
And then the government takes their drag.
425 divided by 9. Yeah, you're not going to get. You're not going to get maybe $1.50.
I've never.
How many of you have gotten these little cards that say you may be entitled to?
Oh, yeah.
I
he's
got two
one.
of those.
Well, from
get
Aetna,
those
it was one of them.
Really?
Yeah.
The database had been hacked and
Yeah, the most-
breached.
Well, I've had a business now for probably close to 30-some years. I don't know how many I get class action lawsuit because I had a lot of suppliers all over the country, all over the world, and you know you get them all the time. Hey, this guy's getting in. You're in on that because your name showed up someplace. And you get all this lawyer stuff, and it's just voluminous.
Correct.
I just throw them away. You know, day one, my wife said, "Oh, well, what are we going to get?" I said, "Nothing.
Well,
We're just going to waste time." I just throw them away. I get them probably once, maybe twice a year.
The most significant payout I can remember is Facebook when Lisa Madigan sued Facebook and it was just primarily the people of the state of Illinois. And
It was like $80, wasn't it?
No, it was over $340 for us.
Oh, wow.
For who?
Really?
For each of us, my wife and I.
What did you have to do? I didn't.
Yeah, it was Facebook. They were
was on
spying
Facebook.
on you. Yeah, no. So if you had a Facebook account,
Well, where's my money?
Well, you didn't
You
join
had to
in
fill,
the class
you had to
action
fill that
lawsuit, you
card
had to fill out
out.
the card.
You sent the card out.
I throw all that stuff away.
That card you threw away.
there you go.
just threw away $300.
I guess that wasn't a good idea.
It was about $340 per person. My wife and I
Really?
both got it. Yeah.
And they were sharing photos and
Yes.
personal stuff that you didn't agree to. Illinois has a separate privacy provision in the law that you have to agree for them to share your photos
Did
or
you
your
get
personal
paid? You
information.
knew about this?
Yeah, I got like $80 because I only have one Facebook account.
Boy, you know what,
Yeah.
Terry?
I got
Where
some
were
reading
we
stuff.
when the ship pulled out?
I know. You didn't get anything.
I
did you?
didn't get anything. No.
No. I'll start reading this stuff then.
Yeah. No, it was very significant because it was such a large amount that they settled for, and it's just the people in Illinois. It was only Illinois because it was Illinois. Lisa Madigan looking at on behalf of the citizens of Illinois.
I'll be darned.
And she was actually a very good attorney general.
Didn't have any idea.
Despite what you think of her father, which I was
see,
a
I don't
fan.
pay
She'd have been a better governor.
I agree. I think she should have
she
ran for
would've
governor.
been.
Actually,
Yeah.
Maybe she will someday.
Here's Disney ordered to pay $10 million because they were collecting kids' data, according to the
That's
FTC.
a drop in the bucket for Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll get that in one day.
That's exactly it. At least.
Revenue for that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, did you just scroll headlines?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Anything else on the weather?
Yes. So we're watching the system in the tropics. We talked about it last week. We talked about it Tuesday. She is showing signs of a strengthening.
Who's she?
So Gabriel.
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 Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Gabriella.
No. It's Gabriel. Or
That's a guy's name.
Gabriel.
Yeah, because
Gabriel,
Gabriel's a
sorry.
guy.
It's
Gabriel's
the
guy.
archangel.
It's what they identify as, really. But Gabrielle. But yeah, this storm identifies as a Gabrielle. And she is actually keeping people in South Florida on alert. Right now, she's steering right towards Haiti and Dominican Republic, the DR.
Haiti, not Heidi.
However they say it. But yeah, all perspective, really. And Cuba. And then
No, not Cuba.
is that how you say
Cuba.
it? Cuba. Right?
No.
Cuba.
Cuba.
Well, Well, let me ask you, because I know, I'm not going there. I'm going to Wisconsin.
Yeah, of course, that's
and
great.
I
I love
don't know if you saw
Wisconsin.
my car out in the parking lot.
Go ahead and ask him.
I've got a mattress and a box spring all strapped to my car. This is going to be a
Got
horrible
kicked
drive.
out of the house
Wait a minute,
again.
you doing that
huh?
today?
Yeah. That's too bad.
You
And
actually
leaving. I was going to leave early because I was going to go to
Oh, goodness.
grandparent, but I wanted to see you guys fight, so I stayed.
That's fantastic. I'm so glad. I'm glad you brought it up.
No.
So you will actually encounter a clipper system midday and this afternoon on your
What
drive
the hell
up
does
to
that
De Pere.
mean?
Is that rain? Scattered rain showers. Yep. You'll encounter
Well,
that
they're
clipper
bagged.
system.
I don't care about that.
Oh, then you're
I
fine.
guess, but,
Yep.
yeah.
Just a little bit of wind and rain. It's a
day.
system. It's waning.
It's a 4 or 5 hour trip.
It'll
Pier?
eventually dry.
Pier.
That's like
It'll
5.5 hours.
it'll dry out
Yeah.
after a couple of days. No,
Yeah,
it's
no.
okay.
As long as you have
Just
it covered and wrapped, you're fine.
Yeah, I put a wrap on it. And stuff,
Good.
but I won't be able to drive. You know what? It's going to be probably 6 hours because I can't
Yeah.
go 80.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, correct.
Because the thing's
But if you
flapping.
put the mattress up in a certain way, depending on the wind, it might
like a
give you
sail?
better. Yeah.
Well, that's a good idea. I didn't think about that.
Get you a little better mileage.
I don't recommend that.
I
If the
didn't
wind's coming
think
in from the
about that.
northwest. I think
That's-
it'll be detrimental to your
that's
course.
brilliant.
You'll probably end up in
I
a Michigan.
figure when you get to where you going, Pierre,
De Pere.
De Pere, that
It's a suburb of
you'll get a
Bangor.
call from people in Milwaukee saying, "We've got a mattress here with your name on
Yeah,
it."
right, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Definitely. Depending on the route you take, that's very
I'm not
much
looking
the case.
You know what? I'm looking at radar.
Yeah.
You're clear till 9 o'clock tonight. You're good.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
changed.
We'll see, Mr. Disharoon. I'm just saying.
All right. I see a bet coming here.
All right. Well, we'll have to wait and see.
What do we got? Is $20?
$20. Well, how are you doing my football picks? I lost last night.
You think I have insurance money or what?
I lost on my bet last night.
You got that cat
Oh,
retirement
you didn't
money.
take.
Come on.
I did. I took the Eagles, but I took the spread, which was 8.5.
Oh.
And it was a 3-point spread, and so I lost.
You know, there's so
FanDuel
much to
points.
gambling you have to know. If I bet, it's either win or lose. It's not
Money
the
line.
spread.
Oh,
No,
no,
the
you got to bet
Cowboys-
the points and everything. No.
As
Yeah,
much as
no,
I
no,
don't
no.
like the Cowboys, they showed a lot of promise last night. I was expecting a blowout on Philadelphia's part.
I was too.
And it did not happen.
Yeah.
The Cowboys, Dak Prescott, he looked good. And he held his own.
Well, you
And
get
CeeDee
spit
Lamb
on,
looked
you
good.
get a little angry.
Yeah, that was interesting.
They lost their number one defensive player
They
6
sure did.
seconds into the
Hello,
game.
Green Bay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Parsons.
No, that's Dallas. But last night, the
Jade. That's right.
Yeah.
Jeb, that's
He
right.
spit on the guy.
He did. He
Yeah,
did.
that's
What a
about as
stupid thing to
Tua.
do.
That is, you're right. That's about as stupid as anybody can do
dumb.
is spit on somebody.
Ghetto
really dumb.
upbringing. You weren't taught manners, apparently.
But you know what? In those little pile-ups, you don't think that's gone on before. They've spit on each other.
Oh,
before.
but are you
they
sure?
used
But
to
this
be-
dude walked up to him on national TV.
That's stupid. Yeah, that was
Spotlight,
absolutely
it's kickoff
stupid.
Thursday.
And then the
There's
news
28
media
cameras
said-
on the field. It's like, are you serious right now?
One, I think it was ABC that reported that spit in the direction of Prescott. He didn't spit in the
No, he
direction.
spit on Prescott.
Yeah,
Prescott
yeah.
spit beforehand, but he
Yeah.
spit opposite direction of the incoming defender. Yeah, and the ref was right there. The ref was right there behind it. That flag
He
out.
threw the flag, and then
Oh,
Prescott
beautiful.
used it to wipe his face.
No, when
I
Prescott,
don't remember that, but-
well, he spit on his jersey, but when
Yep.
Prescott spit, he was in his huddle,
Correct.
and there were 3 or 4 of his guys between him and
correct.
Yeah.
Jalen. So if he spit in the direction of anybody, it was his own team. So you know it was directed at the ground.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, there are
it's
2
Jalon.
things athletes do that I think is wrong. And invariably, you catch it on camera.
Scratch
One
and
is
spit.
scratch your groin, and the other is spit.
It'll scratch
And
and
men
spit,
do that all the time. Even umpires will take the mask off, and you'll see managers
Oh, yeah.
spitting. What kind of seeds are they? Apple
Sunflower.
seeds or sunflower seeds?
Oh, yeah, but
Yeah.
spit the shell.
Yeah,
from the,
yeah.
Being
And,
an
you know,
announcer, I've
if-
never spit being an announcer, but sitting at a table, I've done some scratching.
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you what, though, what's great is when the pitcher's on the mound and he's doing the windup and he turns his head and does the snot rocket out of the side of his
I didn't know, what were you going to say?
That I wouldn't have told. Time for our pet tip of the day.
Oh, yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah, let's see what Louis has to say. Louis, are you there?
Today's pet tip is brought to you by Peoria Pet Crematory of Peoria and Lewiston, providing final care for family pets, large and small, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Their phone number is 713-1898. That's 713-1898. More information is available at peoriapetcrematory.com.
Pet lovers are dedicated to their animals, all species from horses to turtles and of course cats and dogs. If you are a pet lover, learn these little-known, somewhat amazing facts about your pet. Alopecia, meaning hair loss in cats, isn't a disease in itself, but a symptom and an important one not to be ignored. All cats lose hair, but alopecia is defined as an excessive loss of hair. There are many possible causes of alopecia in cats, and they can be defined as self-induced or non-self-induced. Some possible causes are flea or food allergies, ringworm, drug reaction, Cushing's disease, hypothyroidism, stress, surgery, illness, and/or sunburn, to name just a few. So if your cat has bald spots or is losing more hair than usual, you need to get your pet to the vet immediately. Early diagnosis is key in dealing with this malady. Your veterinarian will perform a complete physical examination and pay careful attention to the location, size, and shape of the area of hair loss. The vet will note if any other symptoms are also present. He will need to establish if the cat has been scratching, itching, how long it has been having these symptoms, if it has recently had any medications, topical, or flea and worming products, or any injections. Specific blood tests, skin scrapings, or cultures may be needed to determine the reason. Treatment depends on the underlying cause of the alopecia, but it is treatable. But it must be treated. It won't go away on its own. This whisker of information has been made possible by a grant from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting in partnership with Spot, Saving Pets One at a Time, and KSBR Studios. Produced by Joseph C. McGuire and theme music by Stuardo Glasser.
Today's Pet Tip has been brought to you by Peoria Pet Crematory of Peoria and Lewiston, providing final care for family pets, large and small, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Their phone number is 713-1898. That's 713-1898. More information is available at peoriapetcrematory.com.
Thank you, Louis Linder. And Kyle, it looks like it's going to be a wonderful day for
Gorgeous
the
day.
Marigold Festival in Pekin, Illinois.
Gorgeous weekend.
Yeah.
Beautiful fall weekend. October weather in September, you couldn't ask for anything better. Now, I apologize to the city of Morton, because next weekend it's going to be much warmer and a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah. Will it be that uncomfortable? What will be the high? 80?
Upper 80s, but it's going to feel
Upper
probably,
80s,
Yeah, it's going to
really?
feel. It's with the heat index, it'll probably feel like 90, low 90s. Yeah, the humidity creeps back into with that southwest flow. Now, what could be a changing factor is Gabriel. Did I say it right? Gabriel? No, Gabriel. I'm so Gabriel. There's no A on it. But yeah. All right. Gabriella, we could see what that does with the, as far as the surface analysis, with particularly the central United States and the southeastern United States, the Atlantic seaboard. So we'll keep an eye on that. But no, I'm really excited. Going to hopefully make some money on bets this weekend, and we'll see how the Varnold Gambling Casino does.
Yeah. Oh, you got a big Washington High School football game?
Not really. Triad, I don't even really, not familiar with the high school. So, but I mean, I'm sure Washington will win. Although I did predict they'll lose last Friday, and I think it happened. They lost to Niles Notre Dame. But those Catholic schools, especially in Chicagoland,
yeah.
I mean, they recruit
get
so
players
well.
from all over the
suburbs. They recruit so well. So,
All right, we're going to wrap things up. This is a song that we were introduced to by John yesterday. Charlie Daniels, The Simple Man. Great song for great times right now. Have a great weekend, everybody. God loves you, and so do we. We'll see you early Monday morning. So long, everybody.
I ain't nothing but a simple man. They call me a redneck, I reckon that I am, but this thing's going on, make me mad down to the core. I have to work like a dog to make ends meet. There's crooked politicians and crime in the street, and I'm madder than hell, and I ain't gonna take it no more. We tell our kids to just say no, and then some panty-waist judge lets a drug dealer go. He slaps him on the wrist and he turns it back out on the town. selling dope. Take a big tall tree and a short piece of rope. I'd hang 'em up behind, let 'em swing till the sun goes down. Well, you know what's wrong with the world today? People done gone, put the Bibles away. They're living by the law of the jungle, not the law of the land. Well, the good book says it, so I know it's the truth. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. You better watch where you go and remember where you've been. That's the way I see it, I'm a simple man. Now I'm the kind of man who wouldn't harm a mouse, but if I catch somebody breaking in my house, I got a 12-gauge shotgun waiting on the other side. So don't go pushing me against my will. I don't want to have to fight you, but I darn sure will. If you don't want trouble, then you better just pass me on by. As far as I'm concerned, there ain't no excuse for the raping and the killing and the child abuse. I got a way to put an end to all that mess. You just take them rascals out in the swamp, or put them on their knees and tie them to a stump. Let the rattlers and the bugs and the alligators